Chapter 33-34. After easily passing the review, Lu Ming received a large rest image stone. This rest image stone was used to record one's contributions. For example, when Lu Ming brought people to kill interstellar pirates, he had to use this rest image stone to record it and submit it to the Grand Council. After the review, he would be rewarded accordingly. It was the same for hunting the barbarian tribe. The amount of contributions would be recorded by the rest image stone and could not be faked. After everything was settled, Lu Ming and Blue Merchant returned to their residence. Without any hesitation, they set off with Autumn Moon, Lan Ling, and the elites of the Nether Ape fighting tribe. They set off secretly and no one else noticed. The distance between the Taishu sacred capital and the western frontier was too far. However, the Taishu sacred capital was connected by a wormhole. Using the wormhole, they arrived at the western frontier in a short time. Our target is the Heavenly Chaos Starfield, a starfield at the border between the Taishu dynasty and the barbarian tribe. First, we need to find a planet with life to settle down as the foundation of our tribe. Blue Merchant said. He took out a map and looked at it. This was a map of the Heavenly Chaos Starfield. It was very detailed and even marked out the major and minor galaxies, as well as some of the stronger forces. Lu Ming sighed in his heart. Fortunately, he had Blue Merchant's help. Blue Merchant had already made some plans before this. If it were him, he would have been confused. Then Blue Merchant pointed at one of the planets and zoomed in quickly. This planet is called the Hidden Dragon Planet. It is occupied by a group of interstellar pirates. The environment on this planet is very good and the divine chi is rich. It is a good place for cultivation and is most suitable for the early stage. Lu Ming, what do you think? Blue Merchant asked Lu Ming. Hidden Dragon Planet, what a good name. Let's go with this planet. Lu Ming said with a smile. All right, let's go. Blue Merchant said. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. They turned into streaks of light and flew toward the Heaven Chaos Starfield. Lan Ling's cultivation was the weakest in the group, so she was carried by Blue Merchant. The others flew toward the Heaven Chaos Starfield at an astonishing speed. After flying past many planets more than 10 days later, a huge planet appeared in front of Lu Ming and the rest. This planet was the Hidden Dragon Star. It's a pity that such a good planet was taken over by a bunch of interstellar pirates. From now on, you'll be famous in the hands of Lu Ming. Lu Ming smiled. He took the lead and flew toward the Hidden Dragon Star. Blue Merchant and the others followed closely behind. Who are you? Stop. At this moment, a loud shout rang out and a group of people appeared, blocking Lu Ming's path. This group of people all had ferocious faces, and they were divided into 7 or 8 different races. They all stared at Lu Ming and the others with murderous intent. Who are you? Why are you sneaking around the Hidden Dragon Star? One of the brawny men holding a large saber said. He stared at Lu Ming with murderous intent and waved his saber. Who are we? It doesn't matter if I tell you. We're from the Taishu dynasty. We're here to annihilate you. Lu Ming said with a smile. What? The brawny man in the black robe and the others obviously didn't expect Lu Ming to tell them his purpose directly. They were stunned for a moment, then they roared, the Taishu dynasty is here. Send a message to the commander. Immediately, someone took out a jade talisman and began to send a message. Someone else took out a jade talisman to send a signal to inform the other interstellar pirates. Suddenly, the entire Hidden Dragon Star began to move. Huge interstellar battleships flew out and rushed toward them. Lu Ming and the others didn't move at all. They just watched the other party send a message. It would be easier to solve the problem if the other party sent a message together. All right, I can take care of you now, Lu Ming said indifferently. Then a huge breathing shadow stone flew out and floated above Lu Ming's head. These interstellar pirates were also meritorious. Of course he had to record them. He couldn't let them go to waste. Then Lu Ming stepped forward and walked forward. Kid, you're courting death. Brothers, kill them. The brawny man in the lead shouted angrily. He waved his large saber and charged toward Lu Ming. This brawny man was in the 4th layer of the King God realm. He wasn't weak. The other interstellar pirates were in the 1st layer of the King God realm to the 4th layer of the King God realm. The weakest one was a half-step King God realm. Bang! Lu Ming took a step forward. The void shook violently. Then dragon roars resounded in the sky. In an instant, dozens of 9-clawed dragons flew out and pounced on the interstellar pirates. Oh no! The brawny man in the lead turned pale. He turned around and wanted to escape, but it was too late. A 9-clawed dragon caught up with him. The dragon claw tore the brawny man into pieces and he died on the spot. The other interstellar pirates were even weaker. They couldn't resist and were killed one by one. Go. Kill them. Lu Ming said. They pounced toward the hidden dragon star. Bastards of the Taishu dynasty, how dare you make trouble on the hidden dragon star? Kill them all. There were at least a dozen huge interstellar battleships. Each of them was 1,000 miles long. They were incomparably huge. They crashed toward Lu Ming and the others. A loud roar came from the middle battleship. Good timing. Leave the middle battleship to me. You can do whatever you want with the rest, Lu Ming said to the Nether Ape battle tribe. After that, Lu Ming rushed toward the middle battleship. He used the heavenly demon golden body and punched it. Kill him. A loud roar came from the battleship. Then runes appeared on the battleship. Following that, a beam of light flew out from the front of the battleship and blasted toward Lu Ming. This kind of interstellar battleship not only had the ability to fly quickly and carry people, but it could also launch attacks. It was very powerful. Lu Ming punched the beam of light. The beam of light could not withstand a single blow from Lu Ming and was shattered. Boom. In the end, Lu Ming punched the front of the battleship. The entire battleship shook violently and kept exploding. Debris flew everywhere. The front of the battleship exploded. Then, the terrifying force of the punch spread to the entire battleship. Cracks appeared on the battleship. In the end, the entire battleship disintegrated. The scene of a 1,000-mile-long battleship exploding with a punch was extremely shocking. The battleship shattered and a few thousand people flew out of it. Oh no, retreat! Someone shouted. To be able to destroy a 1,000-mile-long battleship with a punch, this kind of strength was too terrifying. He was at least in the 8th layer of the King God realm. He was not someone they could deal with. They knew that the people who came this time were too strong. You want to leave? Kill them all. Don't leave a single one alive, Lu Ming said coldly. Before he came, he had already done his research. He knew that these interstellar pirates were scum. They would commit all kinds of crimes and their methods were ruthless. They would often exterminate entire families. Every one of them was a vicious person. Their hands were stained with blood. They were all people who deserved to be killed. Lu Ming would not show mercy to these people. Myriad Dao Dragon Emperor. Chapter 33-35. Kill. The elites of the Nether Ape Battle Tribe charged forward. Of course, Yuan Tsong and the other Divine Lords did not attack as they did not need to. This group of interstellar pirates was considered a small group of pirates in the heavenly chaos starfield. The strongest of them was only in the 6th heaven of the Divine King realm. There was no need for the Divine Lords to attack. Any of the Nether Ape Battle Tribe members could easily take care of them. Kill. Some of the Nether Ape Battle Tribe members charged forward. This was a battle without any suspense. Soon, almost all of the interstellar pirates were killed. Lu Ming recorded everything with the Rest Shadow Stone. After that, the elites of the Nether Ape Battle Tribe searched the entire planet and killed all of the interstellar pirates. After that, they chose a better location and started to build a city. Building a city with their cultivation was like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. Soon, a huge city rose from the ground and appeared between the heavens and earth. After the city was built, blue merchants started to set up arrays around the city. There were all kinds of defensive and offensive arrays. In the future, this would be their base. Naturally, they had to set it up properly. After a few months, the city looked brand new. It was complete. Lu Ming and the others entered the city. After that, blue merchants started to set up the planet formation all over the planet. This was a huge project that could not be completed in a short period of time. Lu Ming started to think about the development of the city. Now that they had conquered a planet and had a foothold, they could officially establish the military residence. However, first they had to report it to the Grand Council. Then they could officially establish the residence and recruit elites to join them. After that, Lu Ming sent an elite of the Nether Ape Battle Tribe to report back to the Great Illusionary Saint capital with the order to establish the residence. In less than a month, the Nether Ape Battle Tribe member returned. Everything was done. However, Lu Ming did not have any plans to recruit anyone for the time being. He would wait until things settled down. Lu Ming was thinking about how to accumulate more merits to raise the rank of the military residence. However, even if the soldiers' mansion started to recruit people, there wouldn't be many experts who would join them. Recruiting people with low cultivation wouldn't be of much use. Blue Merchant also suggested that they wait for a while before recruiting. This was because Blue Merchant planned to set up a large formation. This great formation was specially used to recruit people, and it could test one's heart. If there were any dishonest people or people with ulterior motives who entered the formation, they would be able to detect them. Lu Ming had many enemies. If he were to recruit people, there was no guarantee that his enemies would not send people to sneak in. Therefore, this kind of grand formation was extremely important. For the time being, Lu Ming planned to eliminate some interstellar pirates nearby to accumulate merits. Right now, the Heaven Chaos Starfield was in chaos. They were mainly divided into several camps. One of them was the interstellar pirates. There were many interstellar pirates of all sizes. The other one was from the Taishu dynasty. Lu Ming was not the only one who chose to establish a clan here. There were also students from the previous batch of the Sacred Academy of the Taishu dynasty. There were also some who had developed for a long time. The third force was the barbarian race. The barbarian race, the Taishu dynasty, and the interstellar pirates were attacking each other. Could be said that it was a mess. More importantly, the various clans of the Taishu dynasty were also in a competitive relationship. It was common for them to attack each other and kill each other. Lu Ming made a plan. Then he left the Hidden Dragon Star with some Nether Ape fighting clan members and headed west. Not far from them, there was a group of strong interstellar pirates gathered. This group of interstellar pirates was much stronger than the group that Lu Ming and the others had eliminated. If they were eliminated, they would get a lot of merits. A few days later, Lu Ming and the others arrived near a galaxy. Looking from afar, there were many huge interstellar battleships flying and patrolling near this galaxy. The whole galaxy was like an iron bucket built by this group of interstellar pirates. Boom. Suddenly, there was a violent explosion in another direction. Lu Ming and the others were slightly stunned. They had not made a move yet. Why was there a movement in that direction? In the next moment, Lu Ming understood that there was an attack in that direction. Could it be people from other clans? Lu Ming thought. There were many clans of the Taishu dynasty in the Heavenly Chaos Galaxy. Naturally, there were also people who were targeting these interstellar pirates and wanted to eliminate them to gain merits. Someone is attacking. Suddenly, one of the interstellar pirates shouted. The news quickly spread to the core of the galaxy. In a few minutes, there were beams of light flying over from the core of the galaxy. They were all powerful interstellar pirates. They were all heading in that direction. Let's go in too. Lu Ming instructed the Nether Ape fighting clan members that he had brought along. They set off, spreading their bodies and dashing in this direction. This place is still. They had just reached the periphery of the galaxy when the patrolling pirates noticed them. Just as they were about to shout, a Nether Ape fighting clan member stepped out and threw a punch. This Nether Ape fighting clan member was a divine lord that Lu Ming had brought along. He was extremely powerful. His fist rapidly grew in size until it covered an area of the starry sky. A huge explosion occurred in the void. Rumble. The interstellar pirates in front of them, including the patrolling battleships, exploded and turned into dust. They did not even have time to spread the news. Let's go in. Lu Ming and the others rushed in and went straight to the core of the galaxy. In the core of the galaxy, there was a planet that was relatively close to the central star. Needless to say, this was the nest of the interstellar pirates. Lu Ming and the others rushed in and killed their way to the core of the galaxy. After rushing there, they did not stop at all. The Nether Ape fighting clan members killed their way down. Whenever they saw a pirate, they would not show any mercy and would attack mercilessly. As for Lu Ming, he held the breathing shadow stone high and recorded everything. Enemy attack. The elites on the planet had noticed Lu Ming and the others. Countless figures rushed out from various buildings. However, as soon as they rushed out, they were attacked by the Nether Ape fighting clan members and were killed mercilessly. You bastards of the Taishu dynasty, you are courting death. Suddenly, a furious roar was heard. A terrifying aura rushed out from the depths of the planet. A peak divine king. There is a peak divine king among this group of interstellar pirates. Lu Ming was slightly taken aback. This was somewhat beyond his expectations. In the next moment, a burly figure rushed out. It was a ferocious Bear Clan member. He was burly and held a battle axe in his hand. His eyes were cold. He was the leader of this group of interstellar pirates, a peak divine king. Die. The leader of the ferocious Bear Clan shouted and swung his battle axe. You are the one who will die. The Divine Lord Nether Ape fighting clan member attacked with a punch. Chapter 33-36. The Divine Lord Realm Dark Ape struck out with his fist, causing the void to explode. A terrifying fist pressure instantly enveloped the pirate leader. Divine Lord. The pirate leader screamed in fear, but in the next moment, his body exploded and turned into ashes. Facing a divine lord, even a divine king would be killed instantly. Run. When the pirates saw that the pirate leader had been killed in an instant, even though they were all fugitives, they were almost scared to death. They turned and ran. But how could they escape from the hands of the Dark Ape Battle Tribe? The Dark Ape Battle Tribe members charged forward. Every time they attacked, A large number of interstellar pirates were killed. Lu Ming recorded everything with the Repose Shadow Stone. The Repose Shadow Stone was specially made by the Grand Council. It was very magical and could even identify the level of cultivation. The Repose Shadow Stone could identify the level of cultivation of those who were recorded. This was also to make it easier to record credits. The stronger the enemy he killed, the more contribution he would receive. Soon, almost all the interstellar pirates on the planet were killed. Only a few cats and dogs were left. They fled in panic. Lu Ming and the rest did not bother to care about them. After collecting the storage rings of the interstellar pirates, they entered the nest of the interstellar pirates and found a large number of treasures. There were all kinds of forging materials, alchemy materials, and divine artifacts of various levels. Lu Ming took all of them without hesitation. These would be useful as the number of people increased in the future. After clearing out all the treasures and making sure there was nothing left, they left. In the direction of the galaxy, there was still a fierce battle going on. "Let's go take a look," Lu Ming said and flew in that direction with the Dark Ape Battle Tribe. When they got close to the battlefield, they found that the battle cries had weakened. The interstellar pirates were defeated. A large number of interstellar pirates were killed, and the remaining few fled in panic. Then a group of people rushed over. When they saw Lu Ming, they rushed toward Lu Ming and the rest. There were tens of thousands of them. Lu Ming and the rest only had about 100 people. The difference in numbers was too big. Interstellar pirates, kill them. The leader was a yellow-robed young man who looked to be in his 30s. His gaze was cold as he gave the order. Lu Ming was speechless. These people actually thought that they were interstellar pirates. Whoosh, whoosh. In the blink of an eye, at least several hundred attacks were launched towards Lu Ming's group. Brr. One of the Dark Ape Battle Tribe members shouted angrily and took out a huge shield in front of him, blocking all of the attacks. It was mainly because Lu Ming hadn't given the order to attack. Otherwise, the Dark Ape Battle Tribe wouldn't have just defended themselves. They would have counterattacked. "Wait a minute, you're from the Taishu dynasty, right?" "We're also from the Taishu dynasty," Lu Ming shouted loudly, his voice echoing throughout the entire arena. "Stop." Hearing that Lu Ming and the others were from the Taishu dynasty, the young man waved his hand, and everyone stopped attacking. "Are you from the Taishu dynasty?" The young man stared at Lu Ming and the others. "That's right, we're from the Taishu dynasty soldier's mansion. This rest image stone can prove it," Lu Ming said. The young man looked at the rest image stone above Lu Ming's head twice. Obviously he believed Lu Ming's words. "So you're from the other soldier's mansion. That means you've already breached the interstellar pirate's nest?" The yellow-robed young man asked. "That's right, the interstellar pirate's nest has been breached. We're here to support you," Lu Ming said. "Haha, support us? What a joke with just a few of you." Beside the yellow-robed young man, a burly man laughed maniacally, full of contempt. The others laughed as well. "That's enough." The yellow-robed young man raised his hand and everyone stopped laughing. "Since you've breached the interstellar pirate's nest, the treasures in the interstellar pirate's nest should be in your hands. Hand them over and I'll let you leave safely," the yellow-robed young man said. Lu Ming was speechless. Why does this guy seem so confident? We're the ones who breached the interstellar pirate's nest. The pirate's treasures are our spoils of war. Why should we hand them over to you? Lu Ming was speechless. You breached it? How shameless. If I hadn't restrained the main force of the interstellar pirates, would you have had the chance to breach the interstellar pirate's nest? I'm already being lenient by not pursuing the matter of stealing my credit. You want to take the treasures of the interstellar pirates? You're dreaming. If you don't hand them over today, don't leave, the yellow-robed young man said coldly. Lu Ming was completely speechless and almost laughed out loud. This old man was really too confident. Lu Ming sized up the yellow-robed young man and realized that the strongest person beside him was only an eighth heaven divine king. The ones who fought with them were not the main force of the interstellar pirates. There was a peak god king in the lair of the interstellar pirates. If Lu Ming had not rushed in and exterminated the peak god king of the interstellar pirates, the young man in the yellow robe would have suffered heavy losses even if he had not been completely annihilated. Lu Ming had saved them, but in the eyes of the yellow-robed young man, it was Lu Ming who had taken advantage of the situation. I don't have time to waste on you. Let's go. Lu Ming didn't want to waste any more time with the yellow-robed young man and turned to leave. You want to leave? If you don't hand over the treasures today, don't even think about leaving. Take them down. Kill anyone who resists. The yellow-robed young man shouted. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, the elites beside the yellow-robed young man unleashed their auras and attacked Lu Ming and the others. You must be tired of living. A few of the Nether Ape Combat Tribe members shouted angrily. Their eyes were filled with cold killing intent as they stepped forward. These Nether Ape Combat Tribe members were all 8th Heaven Divine Kings. As for the Divine Lords and Peak Divine Kings Nether Ape Combat Tribe members, they stood beside Lu Ming and didn't attack. They didn't even unleash their auras. In their eyes, the yellow-robed young man's group was weak even though they had the advantage in numbers. Stop. Palace Lord, please wait. An old man beside the yellow-robed young man shouted, stopping the others from attacking. The yellow-robed young man's face flashed coldly and he said, "Why should we stop? Although they have a few 8th Heaven Divine Kings, we have more than enough people to kill them. Palace Lord, I feel that these people are not to be underestimated. There might be some elites among them. If we fight them, we will suffer heavy losses even if we win." The old man transmitted his voice to the yellow-robed young man. What should we do? Are we going to let them go just like that? The yellow-robed young man frowned. He still felt that they could deal with Lu Ming and the others. He didn't want to let Lu Ming and the others go so easily. Chapter 33-37. The yellow-robed young man didn't want to let Lu Ming and the others go. Although there were a few 8th-layer Divine King Realm cultivators among Lu Ming's group, he didn't expect them to be so powerful. However, there were more than 10,000 of them while Lu Ming's group only had a few hundred people. He was confident that he could kill Lu Ming and the others. Mansion Master, these people don't look familiar. They must be new here. Let's wait and find out where they are. Then we'll kill them. At the same time, you can bring the Shenming elders with you. The old man said. The Shenming elders? The yellow-robed young man frowned. That's the only thing we can do now. Let's agree to their conditions and let them help us. With the Shenming elders helping us, we can take revenge for what happened today. The old man suggested with a wise look on his face. The yellow-robed young man thought for a while and finally nodded. All right, we'll listen to you. Then he looked at Lu Ming and said, Kid, I'll spare your life today. Let's go. Then he turned around and left. More than 10,000 people followed the yellow-robed young man and disappeared into the starry sky in the blink of an eye. Spare my life. Lu Ming touched his nose and was speechless. They were the ones who saved their lives. Lu Ming guessed that the yellow-robed young man must be one of the geniuses from the previous batch of the Great Void Imperial Family Sacred Courtyard. Maybe he was from before. Lu Ming didn't want to think too much about it and returned to the Hidden Dragon Star with his men. Lu Ming was right. The yellow-robed young man was one of the geniuses from the Great Void Imperial Family Sacred Courtyard. He was ranked 18th during the last Great Void Imperial Family Sacred Courtyard. His name was Huang Dong and he wasn't from a famous family. He came from a small force and was considered a commoner among the geniuses. Huang Dong was considered a peerless genius. However, he was ranked 18th and wasn't rewarded with a mansion opening token. However, he was a commoner and was determined to establish a mansion. He cultivated hard in the Great Void Imperial Family Sacred Courtyard and later joined the army. He made contributions and was rewarded with a mansion opening token. After a long time of hard work, even though he was still a soldier, he had accumulated a group of strong cultivators. However, the strongest cultivator under his command was only at the 8th Divine King layer. There was no one at the peak of the Divine King layer. As soon as Huang Dong returned, he sent people to inquire about Lu Ming's whereabouts. Not long after, they finally found out. So, you're on the Hidden Dragon Star. You're new here. How dare you steal my credit and my treasures? I'll let you know that the Heavenly Chaos Star area is not that easy to survive in. Huang Dong said coldly before flying outside. Not long after, he came to a canyon and saw 3 old men. East Prefecture Lord Huang, what do you think of the conditions we proposed? The bald old man in the middle of the 3 old men smiled faintly. A cold light flashed in his eyes. These 3 old men were called the Shenming 3 Elders. They were rogue cultivators in the Heavenly Chaos Star region. They were extremely powerful as they had all reached the peak Divine King realm. Previously, Huang Dong had wanted to invite the Shenming 3 Elders to join him. However, the Shenming 3 Elders were peak Divine Kings. How could they join a soldier's mansion so easily? After many invitations, the Shenming 3 Elders finally came up with a condition. As long as Huang Dong agreed to it, they would join him. However, the condition was too difficult for Huang Dong. Hence, he had been hesitating and did not agree to it. However, Huang Dong had decided to agree to it now. He needed the Shenming 3 Elders' strength. With the Shenming 3 Elders' help, he could eliminate Lu Ming and expand his forces rapidly to eliminate more pirates. At that time, it would only be a matter of time before he upgraded his mansion to the general's mansion. Otherwise, with his current strength, he did not know how long it would take for him to upgrade his mansion to the general's mansion. All right, I agree to your conditions. Huang Dong said. Great, ha. Then we'll be your men from now on. I hope we can have a pleasant cooperation in the future. The Xianming three elders laughed. Huang Dong also smiled and said, I have something that I need the three of you to help me with. Help me eliminate a newcomer who has just arrived in the Heavenly Chaos Star area to establish his mansion. A newcomer? No problem. The Xianmiao three elders readily agreed. The next day, Huang Dong led a large number of experts and the Xianming three elders to the Hidden Dragon Planet. Hidden Dragon Planet, Dragon Emperor City? It was the newly built city. This was the name that Lu Ming came up with himself. Back in the Divine Wilderness continent, Lu Ming had founded the Dragon League and built a city called Dragon Emperor City. The reason why he named it that way was to commemorate his youthful days. Dragon Emperor City was very deserted now because Lu Ming had only brought a few hundred Nether Ape Fighting Tribe members. Hence, most of the places in the vast city were uninhabited. Only a few important places were guarded by the Nether Ape Fighting Tribe members. Lu Ming was bored to death, so he sparred with Qiu Moon to hone his origin source secret technique. Suddenly, Lu Ming looked into the distance. Interesting. Lu Ming muttered. With his current eyesight, he could directly see what was happening in the starry sky. At this moment, he saw a group of people rushing towards the Hidden Dragon Planet. They then rushed into the atmosphere and rushed towards the Dragon Emperor City. This group of people was naturally Huang Dong and the others. Something is happening. Qiu Moon, let's go and take a look. Lu Ming said to Qiu Moon. The two of them flashed and headed towards the city gate. Around the city, figures constantly rushed out and came to Lu Ming's side. They were all experts of the Nether Ape Fighting Tribe. Soon, hundreds of experts of the Nether Ape Fighting Tribe gathered around Lu Ming. They came to the city gate. At this moment, Huang Dong had already appeared outside the Dragon Emperor City with his experts. Destroy this city. Huang Dong's eyes were cold as he gave the order. Bang bang. Immediately, over 1,000 figures stepped forward, causing the space to tremble. These were thousands of experts in iron armor from various races. They had one thing in common, which was that they were all holding a dazzling golden saber in their hands. This was the Golden Saber Guards that Huang Dong had formed, an elite group under him. Attack. Huang Dong ordered. Kill. Thousands of Golden Saber Guards shouted and attacked at the same time. Their golden sabers slashed towards the Dragon Emperor City. All of a sudden, thousands of saber lights slashed towards the Imperial Dragon City. Each saber light was hundreds of thousands of miles long, as if it was going to split the Dragon Emperor City in half. Courting death. Beside Lu Ming, some Nether Ape Fighting Tribe members shouted coldly and were about to attack. Don't attack first. Lu Ming waved his hand and stopped the experts of the Nether Ape Fighting Tribe. Around the Dragon Emperor City, there was a large array set up by Blue Merchant. After a period of time, the large array had been set up. According to Blue Merchant, it was enough to block the attack of a first-layer Divine Lord. These people were dreaming if they wanted to destroy the Dragon Emperor City. Besides, Lu Ming also wanted to see how powerful the soldier's mansion in the Heaven Chaos Star Zone was so that he could have a better idea. Chapter 33-38. Lu Ming did not let the experts of the Dark Ape Battle Tribe attack. He wanted to see how strong the soldier's mansion was. Finally, over 1,000 golden saber rays landed on the Dragon Emperor City. At this moment, runes appeared on the walls of the Imperial Dragon City. Countless runes intertwined and formed a large array. A transparent light shield covered the entire Imperial Dragon City. Boom, boom. Deafening explosions could be heard as the thousands of saber lights slashed onto the transparent light barrier. However, the light barrier only trembled slightly. As for the saber lights, they all shattered and disappeared. So, you set up a large array. Huang Dong's face stiffened. He then snorted, Do you think you can stop me with a large array? All of you attack. Huang Dong waved his hand and more experts stepped out and came to the side of the city wall. This time, Huang Dong also brought more than 10,000 people. All of them were his elite subordinates. They were a gathering of experts. Now he had sent out 5,000 people. Break! The 5,000 people shouted and attacked at the same time. Most of them were high-level heavenly gods. 10 to 20% of them were divine kings. Although the Heavenly Chaos Starfield was also a starfield like the Qingtian Starfield, there was a world of difference in strength. The Heaven Chaos Starfield was bigger than the Qingtian Starfield, and this was one aspect. The main reason was that the cultivation conditions in the Heavenly Chaos starfield were much better than the Qingtian starfield. It was rich in resources and rich in resources. Cultivators could not do without resources. With rich resources, it was natural that more experts could be nurtured. In the Qingtian starfield, the strongest expert was in the 4th layer of the Divine King realm. However, in the Heavenly Chaos starfield, there were many 4th layer of the Divine King realm. Just like Huangdong, the soldier's mansion had many Divine King realm experts. They could easily destroy the entire Chu-Tian starfield or Qingtian starfield. 5,000 people, 5,000 attacks, all landed on the large array outside the Imperial Dragon City. Violent booms broke out, stirring up monstrous waves. Boundless energy scattered in all directions. However, it was tranquil inside the Dragon Emperor City. There was no fluctuation at all. All of the attacks were blocked. Again? Continue. Someone shouted. The 5,000 experts continued to attack. After a short while, the Imperial Dragon City was still safe and sound. On the other hand, the 5,000 experts were panting. Damn it. All of you attack together. I don't believe that we can't break this array. Huangdong roared. Even though they had not broken the Imperial Dragon City's array, he was more confident. He was certain that there were not many powerful figures around Lu Ming. Otherwise, why would Lu Ming stay in the city obediently and not dare to come out? If Lu Ming had a powerful cultivator by his side, he might have charged out directly. He thought that Lu Ming was afraid of them. That was why he hid in the city and relied on the array to resist, not daring to come out. As long as he could break this array, he would be able to destroy Lu Ming and his crew and obtain the treasures of the interstellar pirates, as well as Lu Ming's treasures. Boom. Boom. Huangdong, to Huangdong. There were more than 20 experts in this group, and all of them were 7th Order God King Realm cultivators. 4 of them were in the 8th Heaven God King Realm, and 17 were in the 7th Heaven God King Realm. That was 80% of Huangdong's subordinates. The moment these experts attacked, their momentum soared to the sky. The entire planet shook as their attacks rained down on the Imperial Dragon City. However, it was useless. When their attacks landed on the Imperial Dragon City's array, they could only cause it to shake slightly. They couldn't break it. They didn't believe it and continued to attack. However, the result was the same. After dozens of attacks, the Imperial Dragon City was safe and sound. Is this all you've got? You're too naive to think that you can kill me with this little bit of strength. What other trump cards do you have? Hurry up and use them. I don't have time to waste here with you. Lu Ming said indifferently. His disdainful voice spread far and wide. This brat? Huangdong's face turned green when he heard Huangdong's words. I'll have to trouble the 3 of you. Huangdong cupped his fists at the 3 old men beside him. These 3 old men were the Shenming elders. Leave it to us. The bald old man who was the leader of the 3 Shenming elders said confidently. They flew out and appeared in the sky above the city. Boom. A terrifying aura erupted from their bodies. The terrifying low temperature caused the temperature between heaven and earth to plummet. Many of Huangdong's subordinates shuddered and retreated quickly. They didn't dare to stay for fear of being frozen to death. Then, a giant sword appeared above the heads of the 3 Shenming elders. These giant swords seemed to be made of ice as they exuded an even more terrifying chill. Each of the giant swords was millions of miles long. Peak Divine Kings, 3 Peak Divine Kings. The strength of the military mansion isn't bad. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. Slash. The 3 Xuanmiao elders shouted at the same time and slashed down with their giant swords. Boom. 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 The 3 giant swords slashed on the transparent light shield above the Imperial Dragon City, causing an earth-shattering explosion. The chill spread, but the transparent light shield only trembled a few times and didn't break. How is this possible? Even Peak Divine Kings can't break it. This array is too powerful. Huangdong's subordinates were shocked. Huangdong's face darkened. As for the 3 Shenming elders, their eyes turned solemn as they continued to attack. They used their trump cards and unleashed a barrage of attacks, but the formation remained unscathed. 3 Peak Divine Kings. Are these your trump cards? Do you have any stronger ones? Bring them out. Lu Ming continued. Kid, do you think you can be safe by hiding in a turtle shell? If you are so capable, you can hide in there forever. Huangdong gritted his teeth. The more he looked at Lu Ming, the more he hated him. So, you really don't have any more trump cards? Now it's my turn to strike, Lu Ming said. He then waved his hand and stepped into the void, flying out of the city. Autumn Moon and the Dark Ape fighting tribe followed behind him. In an instant, Lu Ming walked out of the array's range. Out. Huang Dong was taken aback. He didn't know why, but he suddenly had a bad feeling. He wasn't stupid. Lu Ming had seen the strength of his subordinates, but he still dared to walk out of the array. If he wasn't crazy, then he must have something to rely on. No matter how he looked at it, Lu Ming didn't look like someone who was crazy. You're out. Good, now die. One of the 3 Xianming elders shouted coldly as he slammed his palm down. A giant ice palm pressed down on Lu Ming, trying to kill Lu Ming. How dare you? Beside Lu Ming, an expert from the Dark Ape fighting tribe shouted. He rushed up to the sky and punched out. Boom. The giant ice palm exploded. The expert from the Dark Ape fighting tribe didn't stop. He rushed towards his opponent and punched out. Chapter 33-39. A Peak Divine King. The elder of the 3 Xianming elders exclaimed as he unleashed his full strength. Xianming Qi filled the air and condensed into an ice goshawk that pounced towards the Dark Ape fighting tribe expert. However, the ice goshawk was shattered into pieces as the fist radiance swept across it. Bam! The elder of the 3 Xianming elders shuddered as he retreated. Although they were both peak divine kings, there was still a huge gap between their strengths. Clearly, the elder of the 3 Xianming elders was no match for the Dark Ape fighting tribe expert. Third brother? The other 2 elders of the 3 Xianming elders exclaimed as they stared at the Dark Ape fighting tribe expert coldly. How dare you injure our third brother? Die. Having said that, they were about to join forces and attack the Dark Ape fighting tribe expert. But in the next moment, their bodies stopped abruptly. Then their bodies began to tremble and their faces were filled with horror. That was because a row of 9 Dark Ape fighting tribe experts had appeared in front of them. At that moment, the 9 Dark Ape fighting tribe experts exuded a terrifying aura. They were all peak divine kings. 9 peak divine kings. The leader of the 3 Xianming elders, the bald elder, stuttered. His face was pale and he was sweating profusely. The other 2 elders of the 3 Xianming elders were in a similar state. Who do you want to kill? One of the Dark Ape fighting tribe experts asked coldly. No. It's a misunderstanding. It's all a misunderstanding. We have nothing to do with that brat. The bald elder pointed at Huang Dong and said, We have nothing to do with him. He tricked us into coming here. It's all a misunderstanding. We'll leave now. We'll leave immediately. After the bald elder finished speaking, he signaled the other 2 elders of the 3 Xianming elders with his eyes and was about to leave. You think you can come and go as you please? What do you think this is? Kill them. Lu Ming said coldly. Kill. The Dark Ape fighting tribe expert shouted as he attacked decisively. Terrifying attacks rained down on the 3 Xianming elders. The 3 Xianming elders were shocked as they tried their best to defend themselves. They formed a few hundred layers of ice around their bodies in an attempt to block the attacks of the Dark Ape fighting tribe. However, the attacks of the 3 Xianming elders shattered all their defenses. Their bodies flew out horizontally, coughing out large mouthfuls of blood. They were seriously injured. Cracks appeared on their bodies and they were almost crushed to pieces. Spare our lives, we surrender, we are willing to submit to you, we are willing to do anything for you, spare our lives. Let us go, we will definitely be loyal to you. The 3 Xianming elders roared in fright, almost pissing their pants. They knew that if they didn't beg for mercy, only death would await them. Stop for a moment. At this time Lu Ming spoke and the Dark Ape Battle Tribe's experts stopped. Spare my life, young hero. No sir, spare my life. The Xianming 3 elders knew that Lu Ming was the leader. They repeatedly begged Lu Ming for mercy and almost knelt down. At that moment Huang Dong was completely dumbfounded. He never would have thought that Lu Ming actually had so many powerhouses by his side. The moment they came out, it was 9 peak divine kings. The Xianming elders, whom he had spent a great deal of effort to invite over, couldn't even withstand a single blow from these experts. They were beaten to the point of begging for mercy and surrendering. Fear, incomparable fear, surged into his heart. Run. At that moment, there was only one word in Huang Dong's mind: run away from this terrifying place. Let's go. Suddenly Huang Dong roared, waking the people around him. He led his men and turned around, wishing that he could grow a few more wings. However, in front of them, a Dark Ape Battle Tribe member appeared out of nowhere and blocked their path. Let's attack together and defeat him. Huang Dong roared and unleashed all his strength. He wanted to join forces to defeat the Dark Ape Battle Tribe member and escape. However, in the next moment, the Dark Ape Battle Tribe member in front of them unleashed a terrifying aura. This aura was like the might of the heavens, like the universe, vast and boundless. It was as if an entire planet was pressing down on them. Over 10,000 experts were suppressed the moment they unleashed their aura. Many of them even spat out blood as their bodies trembled. Divine Lord, it's a Divine Lord. Beside Huang Dong, an 8th-layer Divine King Elder screamed hysterically. His voice was filled with fear. The others were the same. Their eyes were wide open and filled with fear. Divine Lord. There was a Divine Lord by Lu Ming's side. It didn't matter how many of them there were in front of a Divine Lord. The difference in strength was too great and they would be slaughtered. Huang Dong's body began to tremble. His face was deathly pale without a trace of blood. The Shinming elders were so scared that they almost peed their pants. Their bodies trembled even more violently. Previously they thought that Lu Ming only had a few peak Divine Kings around him. They didn't expect that there would be a Divine Lord. They regretted it so much. If they had known this would happen, they wouldn't have followed Huang Dong. How unlucky. They wailed in their hearts. They could only hope that Lu Ming would let them go. Otherwise they would be dead meat. Have you been allowed to leave? The Divine Lord asked coldly. Together with the Dark Ape Battle Tribe members' fangs, he looked extremely ferocious. Plop. Some of the more cowardly ones knelt in the air and begged, "Spare our lives. Please spare our lives. We are willing to surrender to you. We are willing to be your slaves. Spare our lives." At least half of them begged. "It's up to our mansion master whether to let you go or not," the Divine Lord Dark Ape Battle Tribe member said. Lu Ming had specifically instructed them not to call him Combat Ancestor outside. They were to call him Mansion Master. Then they looked at Lu Ming and begged Lu Ming. "Do you really want to surrender to me?" Lu Ming looked at the Shenming elders. Of course. We sincerely want to surrender to the Mansion Master and serve the Mansion Master," the leader of the Shenming elders hurriedly said. "Good. In that case, swear on your life origin that you will serve me wholeheartedly and never betray me," Lu Ming said. "Swear on your life origin?" The Shenming elders' faces turned pale. Normally, when the Army Mansion, General Mansion, Marquis Mansion, and even the Heavenly King Mansion recruited experts, they wouldn't swear on their life origin. This was because swearing on one's life origin wasn't a joke. Once an oath was made, one would never betray it. Ordinary people wouldn't swear on their life origin. If the mansions recruited people with such a requirement, no one would join. For example, Huang Dong's subordinates wouldn't swear on their life origin when they joined Huang Dong. But now Lu Ming wanted them to swear on their life origin. This made them feel awkward. "What? You don't want to?" Lu Ming's expression turned cold. He said coldly, "You have to be clear that I'm not the one begging you to join me and work for me. Instead, you're the one crying and begging to join me and work for me. Do you understand?" Chapter 33:40. It would be strange if they understood. The Shenming elders and many others roared in their hearts. If it weren't for the fact that their lives were in danger, who would be willing to submit to you and cry? "If you have the ability, let us go. If you don't kill us, who would be willing to submit to you?" Their hearts were filled with resentment, but they didn't dare to show it on their faces. "You don't want to swear, right? Fine, kill all of you." Lu Ming waved his hand casually. "Yes, I'm willing. We're willing." The Shenming elders were almost scared to death and hurriedly shouted. If they swore, then so be it. If they were killed, then there would be nothing left. Moreover, Lu Ming had many experts on his side. There were even Divine Lord experts. Following Lu Ming wouldn't be a waste. With so many experts on Lu Ming's side, it would be normal to upgrade to the general's residence in the future. Immediately, the Shenming elders swore on their life source to be loyal to Lu Ming. After swearing, the Shenming elders were considered Lu Ming's men. "What about you?" Lu Ming's sharp eyes swept over Huang Dong and the others, causing them to turn pale. "I'm willing to surrender." "I'm also willing to surrender." Then Huang Dong's subordinates shouted one by one, swearing on their life source to be loyal to Lu Ming. After all, there weren't many who were truly loyal to Lu Ming. In the end, 8,000 people surrendered to Lu Ming. Only 2,000 people remained by Huang Dong's side. "It seems like you don't intend to surrender. Then I'll send you on your way," Lu Ming said coldly. "No, I'm not convinced." At this time, Huang Dong suddenly roared, staring at Lu Ming with bloodshot eyes. "You're just relying on your subordinates. If you have the ability, fight with me. Let's talk with our own strength." "You want to fight with me?" Lu Ming curled his lips and revealed a mocking expression. "You have the face to say that? You were in the last batch to join the Great Void Imperial Academy, and I was in the last batch. You have cultivated for so many years more than me, and you have the face to say that you want to fight me?" Huang Dong clenched his teeth and said, "So what if I'm from the previous batch?" According to age, I'm still part of the younger generation. If you can defeat me, I'll surrender. I'll lead all my men to serve you and never betray you. However, if I win, you must let me go. Hee, you still haven't given up. You want to use this method to seek a way out for yourself. However, this method is too low level. Lu Ming said indifferently. Huang Dong's heart sank. If Lu Ming did not agree to his request, then he really had no other choice. Either he died or he surrendered. But, at this time Lu Ming's tone changed and he said, "If you want to fight, I don't care. I'll make you give up." After saying that, Lu Ming stepped forward. This time even Huang Dong was stunned. He did not expect Lu Ming to agree to his request. "All right," Huang Dong quickly replied. He stepped forward and faced Lu Ming. In the autumn moon, the experts of the Dark Ape fighting tribe were calm. They knew how strong Lu Ming was. Huang Dong was asking for it. Boom. Huang Dong attacked and a powerful aura burst out. Peak 6th layer Divine King Realm. Moreover, his divine origin factor had awakened twice, so he was not weak. He turned into a flash of lightning and charged at Lu Ming. His palm was like a knife, aiming at Lu Ming's forehead. Lu Ming waved his hand and his palm collided with Huang Dong's palm. Bang! With a loud explosion, Huang Dong's body was pushed back. He felt his palm go numb and it almost cracked. How can he be so strong? Huang Dong's heart was in turmoil. With just one move, he felt that Lu Ming was unfathomable. Impossible. He is just a new student. No matter how strong he is, there is a limit. I don't believe that he is stronger than me. Huang Dong roared in his heart. He was ranked 18th in the previous batch of students. He was extremely talented and had great confidence in himself. He did not believe that he was weaker than a new student of the Taishu Imperial Academy. Yellow Heaven's Holy Qi. Huang Dong roared. A yellow aura shot up into the sky like a divine knife and charged at Lu Ming. This was Huang Dong's secret art of origin. A strand of holy qi could turn into thousands of weapons. It was extremely powerful and could kill enemies from hundreds of millions of miles away. Huang Dong used all his strength in this move. He was determined to kill Lu Ming or at least injure Lu Ming. The yellow blade light was very fast. In a flash it was close to Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming was still only fighting with one hand. Lu Ming reached out his hand and grabbed at the Yellow Heaven's Holy Qi. In an instant, Lu Ming activated the battle incantation and quadrupled his combat strength. The divine power in his body surged. Bam! Lu Ming's hand accurately grabbed the Yellow Heaven's Holy Qi. The Yellow Heaven's Holy Qi kept vibrating, but it could not break Lu Ming's hand. How is this possible? Huang Dong roared in disbelief. The Yellow Heaven's Holy Qi was his secret art of origin. It was extremely powerful. Even a high-level divine artifact would be destroyed, let alone a physical body. However, Lu Ming had caught it with his hand. This was unbelievable. What happened next made his heart tremble. With a bang, the Yellow Heaven's Holy Qi was crushed by Lu Ming. It turned into yellow light and disappeared. Is this all you've got? I really don't know where you get your confidence from. Lu Ming said indifferently. He took a step forward and pressed down with one hand. A huge palm was formed and pressed down on Huang Dong like a divine mountain. Huang Dong roared and tried his best to resist, but it was useless. Lu Ming had activated the battle incantation and quadrupled his combat strength. In addition to his boundless divine power and the heavenly demon golden body, he was too powerful. Even though his cultivation was one level lower than Huang Dong's, he was still able to crush him. Boom! Huang Dong felt like a mountain was pressing down on him. He lay on the ground and vomited blood. No matter how hard he struggled, it was useless. Third awakening of the origin divine power? How is this possible? Huang Dong roared in disbelief. After the previous exchange, he could feel that Lu Ming's origin divine power had awakened for the third time. Third awakening at the 5th level of the King God realm was too shocking. Huang Dong's subordinates also sucked in a breath of cold air, extremely shocked. In their eyes, Huang Dong was already a peerless genius. He was still young, but he had already reached the 6th level of the King God realm. His origin divine power had awakened for the second time and he had even comprehended the origin secret technique. With such talent, it was certain that he would become a divine emperor in the future. He wouldn't be an ordinary divine emperor, but an expert in the upper class of the Taishu dynasty. However, such a genius couldn't even withstand a single blow from Lu Ming. He was as weak as a baby. So powerful, the 3 Shenming elders were also shocked. They looked at each other and saw the surprise in each other's eyes. Yes, it was a surprise. Lu Ming's talent had exceeded their expectations. He was definitely a genius among geniuses. As long as such a genius didn't die, his future would be limitless. Following such a genius was not only harmless but also beneficial. Previously they were a little unwilling, but now their reluctance had disappeared. Chapter 33-41. The Xianming elders even rejoiced in their hearts. Many of Huang Dong's subordinates also rejoiced in their hearts. Perhaps surrendering to Lu Ming was a good choice. Lu Ming was obviously much stronger than Huang Dong. Moreover, he had many experts under him. Surrendering to Huang Dong was obviously better than surrendering to Lu Ming. Surrender or not? Lu Ming said indifferently as he stared at Huang Dong. Huang Dong was a talent. If he surrendered, he wouldn't mind accepting him. If he was stubborn, he wouldn't mind killing him. I surrender, I surrender. In the end, Huang Dong shouted that he was willing to surrender. Although he was a little unwilling, he was a commoner. It wasn't easy for him to fight to this point. He was unwilling to surrender just like that. However, things had already come to this point. He had no choice but to surrender. If he didn't, he would die. Swear. Lu Ming said coldly. Huang Dong was helpless. In the end, he swore on his life origin that he would be loyal to Lu Ming. After Huang Dong surrendered, some of his more loyal subordinates naturally followed suit. All right, move your people to my city, Lu Ming ordered. After that, Huang Dong returned and moved all of his powerhouses into Dragon Emperor City. As a result, Dragon Emperor City became boisterous as a result. It was not as desolate as before. After that, Lu Ming divided Huang Dong's subordinates into groups and assigned them to the experts of the Nether Ape Battle Clan to lead them to exterminate the interstellar pirates. As for Lu Ming, he stayed in Dragon Emperor City to cultivate. In the center of Dragon Emperor City, a huge primordial statue stood tall, emitting a mysterious aura. This statue was naturally Lu Ming's statue. It had absorbed a large amount of god essence and was incomparably mysterious. Blue Merchant had set up a formation around the primordial statue to block it. Otherwise, the fluctuations would have spread very far. Near the primordial statue, two figures were constantly fighting fiercely. It was Lu Ming and Wan Shen. The myriad gods had grasped countless origin secret techniques, and they also had the Gate of Gods. Sparring with Wan Kuan was the best option. It would allow Lu Ming to deepen his understanding of the Gate of Gods. Every origin source secret art was not something that could be fully grasped just by awakening it. It needed to be constantly comprehended and excavated. Only then could more potential be unearthed, and the power of the origin source secret art would grow stronger. He needed to constantly comprehend it, day after day. Moreover, Wan Kuan's strength was unfathomable. Lu Ming could completely let go and attack with all his strength. This was also very effective for his own tempering. Boom. Boom. Both of them unleashed their gates of domination. The two enormous gates of domination crisscrossed in the air and collided with each other. It was like two planets colliding, causing a violent explosion. Boom. All of a sudden, the gate of the sovereign of the myriad gods trembled, and a pitch-black vortex appeared in the middle of it. A terrifying roar came from the vortex, like the roar of an ancient god. A terrifying wave of energy spread out from the vortex and bombarded Lu Ming's Gate of Gods. Lu Ming's Gate of Gods shook violently, and cracks appeared on it. Then the entire Gate of Gods collapsed and exploded into dust. Danger, danger! Lu Ming felt a terrifying sense of danger from the Gate of Gods. His hair stood on end, and his body tensed up as he frantically retreated. Withdraw. The myriad gods whispered. With a wave of his hand, he withdrew the Gate of Gods. Only then did that sense of danger disappear. Lu Ming let out a long breath. Myriad gods, what was that? Lu Ming asked. I don't know either. I activated the Gate of Gods a little more and that was it. The myriad gods scratched his head, a puzzled look on his face. How terrifying. Could it be that when the Gate of Gods is comprehended to a high level, such a change will occur? Lu Ming guessed. His current Gate of Gods was the kind that had just been awakened, and could only display some basic power. There was still a long way to go before it reached a high level. He speculated that when the Gate of Gods was comprehended to a high level, such a change would occur. Let me give it a try. At this time, Autumn Moon came up and sparred with the myriad gods. Now, Autumn Moon's cultivation had reached the 6th layer of the God King realm. The effects of the Sacred Heart of 9 Orifices were terrifying, allowing Autumn Moon to maintain a rapid progress. Following that, Chiu Yu and the Myriad God clan began fighting again. By now, Autumn Moon had comprehended 2 origin secret techniques. Using them together with the God-killing ray, her strength was astonishing. After exchanging a few hundred moves with the myriad gods, she walked to the side and closed her eyes to meditate. Then it was Lu Ming's turn to spar with the myriad gods. Lu Ming and Autumn Moon's cultivation speed was very fast. A few years passed in the blink of an eye. In these few years, Lu Ming and the others had developed rapidly. The Dark Ape Battle Tribe led Huang Dong's subordinates to conquer the world and exterminate many interstellar pirates. Furthermore, another soldier's residence was defeated by them and surrendered to Lu Ming. Lu Ming accumulated more and more merits, and the number of subordinates under him also increased. The territories under his control also increased. Now, Lu Ming controlled as many as 8 planets with life and 19 planets with resources. However, the merits he had accumulated were not enough to upgrade Lu Ming's residence. It would not be easy to upgrade it to a general's residence. Lu Ming's rapid expansion attracted the attention of the surrounding factions. The Wasteland Reclaimer General's residence was a powerful faction around Lu Ming. The Wasteland Reclaimer General's residence had been established for many years. The founder of the residence was many generations older than Lu Ming and could be considered a senior figure. During this period, the Wasteland Reclaimer General's residence had been discussing Lu Ming's matter. In the distant Taishu sacred capital, the Grand Preceptor's residence was also plotting. In the Grand Preceptor's residence's meeting hall, the Grand Preceptor sat on a high seat and looked down. Where did Lu Ming set up his residence? How's the investigation? The Grand Preceptor asked, his voice full of murderous intent. It's been investigated. Lu Ming chose to set up his residence on the Heavenly Chaos Planet and is now entrenched on the Hidden Dragon Planet. An old man with snow-white hair below him replied. The Hidden Dragon Planet of the Heavenly Chaos Planet. Very well, I want him to die without a burial place. The Grand Preceptor said coldly. Lord Grand Preceptor, we are being watched by many people now. We can't brazenly send people to kill Lu Ming. The white-haired old man bowed and said. I know that. The Grand Preceptor knocked on the table and said. As an important minister of the Taishu dynasty, the Grand Preceptor had great power. If he directly sent people to kill Lu Ming, it would cause panic in the other residences. After all, the Taishu dynasty was composed of 2 parts. One part was the core of the Taishu dynasty, and the other part was the various residences. If a core official of the Taishu holy dynasty could casually send someone to execute a clan residence, the other clans would definitely panic. They would be bitterly disappointed and chaos would ensue. Unless that family mansion really committed a huge crime. Chapter 3342. After all, Lu Ming wasn't alone. He had already established his own faction. If Lu Ming didn't do anything wrong, the Grand Master would send someone to kill Lu Ming, which would cause panic in the other factions. His enemies would definitely attack him. By then, even the Grand Master would have to bear a lot of pressure. However, the Grand Master had already calmed down. He wasn't as crazy as when he first learned that Wu Fan had been killed. Aren't there many clan mansions around Lu Ming? These clan mansions are competing with each other and want to annex each other. I reckon that many of them want to attack Lu Ming. As long as we send people to assist these clan mansions secretly and eliminate Lu Ming, no one will suspect that I'm the culprit. The Grand Master said with killing intent. You're wise, Grand Master. The white-haired elder and a few others below him started to flatter him. Very well. Send someone to the Heavenly Chaos Galaxy. Remember, they have to act secretly. I want to hear that Lu Ming has been killed. The Grand Master ordered. The Wasteland Reclaimer's mansion in the Heavenly Chaos Galaxy was discussing something again. The upper echelons of the Wasteland Reclaimer's mansion were gathered. The person sitting at the top was the Mansion Lord of the Wasteland Reclaimer's mansion. He was known as the Wasteland Reclaimer General. The Wasteland Reclaimer General was a burly middle-aged man. He used to be a prodigy of the Taishu Royal Academy a long time ago. After a long time of hard work, he finally upgraded to a general's mansion. He controlled a territory and had many talents. General, the Hidden Dragon Hall is developing too quickly. They've already eliminated 7 interstellar pirates and destroyed 2 barracks. Their territory is close to ours. We have to be on guard. An important figure in the Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion suggested. The Hidden Dragon Mansion was what they called Lu Ming and the others. That's right. The Hidden Dragon Mansion is very ambitious. They've been expanding rapidly since they were established. They have many experts under them. I heard that they have more than a dozen peak divine kings. They'll compete with us for resources sooner or later. Another person said. Everyone looked at the Wasteland Reclaimer General, waiting for his answer. Yes, we have to be careful. I've heard that the Hidden Dragon Mansion Master is a peerless genius from the Great Void Imperial family's holy courtyard. He's ranked 3rd among the new batch of students. He has a group of experts from the Dark Ape Battle Tribe as his subordinates. Their strength is indeed shocking. We have to get rid of them first. How about this? Pass down my orders. We'll set out in 3 days and destroy the Hidden Dragon Hall. The Wasteland Reclaimer General ordered. At this moment, a burly man who looked like a guard walked in and bowed. Reporting to the general, there is someone outside who wishes to see you. Who is it? Asked the Wasteland Reclaimer General. I don't know. The other party didn't say anything. They only said that they could help the general get rid of his biggest problem. The guard replied. Solve the problem in your heart? Ah. The Wasteland Reclaimer General sneered and said, let them in. I want to see who they are. Yes. The guard cupped his fists and left. Not long after, the guard brought in 3 black-robed men. What do you mean when you say that you're going to help me solve the problem in my heart? The Wasteland Reclaimer General stared at the 3 black-robed men as a powerful aura emanated from his body. However, the 3 black-robed men didn't move at all. The one in the middle said, the general must be thinking of eliminating Lu Ming, who is also the Hidden Dragon Hall. We can help the general to eliminate the Hidden Dragon Hall. Aha, so you're here for the Hidden Dragon Hall. What a joke. How can a mere Hidden Dragon Hall be my biggest problem? I can destroy it with a flip of my hand. The Wasteland Reclaimer General laughed. His voice was filled with disdain. So what if Lu Ming had many peak divine kings under his command? Could a peak divine king be compared to a divine lord? As for the Wasteland Reclaimer General, he had already reached the Divine Lord realm. Moreover, he wasn't the only Divine Lord in the Wasteland Reclaimer General's residence. There was another Divine Lord realm expert. 2 Divine Lord realm experts could eliminate a mere Lu Ming with a flip of their hand. The general better not underestimate Lu Ming. If you do, you'll suffer a great loss. The black-robed man in the middle said. You're saying that I can't deal with Lu Ming and need your help to deal with Lu Ming? The Wasteland Reclaimer General said coldly. You can say that. The black-robed man in the middle said. How arrogant. I'd like to see what you're capable of. The Wasteland Reclaimer General said coldly. After saying that, he gave a signal to his subordinates. Immediately, a burly man stepped forward. Let me try and see if you're capable or not. The burly man shouted coldly and unleashed a powerful aura. The burly man was also a peak divine king. He used all his strength to unleash a move that enveloped the 3 black-robed men. Get lost. One of the black-robed men at the side shouted coldly. With a wave of his sleeve, a terrifying force burst out. The burly man at the peak divine king groaned as though he had been hit by a divine mountain. His body flew backward and fell heavily on the ground as he vomited blood. A peak divine king was defeated in a single move. Divine Lord. The Wasteland Reclaimer General squinted his eyes. How is it? The black-robed man in the middle asked. There are strong and weak Divine Lords as well. Let me try. The Wasteland Reclaimer General said. As he spoke, the Wasteland Reclaimer General rushed forward and threw out a palm attack. Boom. The entire hall shook. A terrifying aura blasted toward the black-robed man in the middle like a mountain. The black-robed man in the middle stretched out a withered palm and met the Wasteland Reclaimer General's palm attack. Bam. Both of their palms collided and a terrifying shockwave erupted. Fortunately, both of their palms were restrained. Otherwise, the terrifying shockwave would have turned the hall into dust. Then a figure retreated quickly. It was the Wasteland Reclaimer General. His tall and sturdy body retreated even faster than the speed at which he had pounced out and landed on his chair. One of his hands was behind his back and it was trembling constantly. Green veins were bulging on it and blood was seeping out. His eyes were filled with seriousness. How is it? The black-robed man in the middle asked again. Impressive. All right, let's work together then. Ah. The Wasteland Reclaimer General laughed. He speculated that these people must have extraordinary backgrounds. Otherwise they wouldn't be so strong. But I'm really curious. Is Lu Ming worth all of you making such a big fuss about? The Wasteland Reclaimer General asked. Don't underestimate Lu Ming. Otherwise you'll die a horrible death. The black-robed man in the middle said. Oh, when shall we make our move? The Wasteland Reclaimer General asked. Sooner rather than later. Make your move immediately. Also, you'd better not send too many people. Just send one person to lead the way to avoid attracting the attention of the other party. The black-robed man in the middle said. All right, I still have a Divine Lord expert under me. I'll send him to join forces with you. The Wasteland Reclaimer General said. Soon after, 4 figures left the Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion silently and disappeared into the starry sky. Chapter 33-43. Lu Ming, Qiu Autumn Moon, and Wan Shun were still cultivating under the primordial deity statue. On this day, Lu Ming suddenly received a voice transmission from Blue Merchant, saying that he had something important to discuss with him. Lu Ming immediately left to meet Blue Merchant. Lan Shu, why are you looking for me in such a hurry? Lu Ming asked. Look. Blue Merchant waved his hand and an image appeared in the sky. It was a starry sky, and in the next moment, a few figures appeared and disappeared in a flash. However, Lu Ming still saw a total of 4 people. These people are here for us? Lu Ming asked. That's right. Blue Merchant nodded and said, since the incident with Huang Dong, I have set up some arrays on some scattered meteorites in the outer area of the hidden dragon star. These arrays can detect the situation in the starry sky. If anyone enters the range of the arrays, they will be detected. These people are very strong. I'm afraid they don't have good intentions. If they don't have good intentions, let's open the city gate and make sure they don't return. Lu Ming sneered. They immediately set up the array and evacuated the people near the city gate. Then they gathered the experts of the Dark Ape fighting tribe and waited quietly. They're here. Soon Yuan Song said. This time Yuan Song also came. Mainly because they didn't know how strong the opponents were, Lu Ming asked Yuan Song to stay by his side. It would be safer this way. Outside the starry sky, 4 streaks of light flashed. They were extremely fast, and in the next moment the 4 streaks of light disappeared. Soon, 4 figures appeared outside the Dragon Imperial City. Among the 4, 3 of them were the 3 mysterious black-robed men. There was also a burly old man. He was another Divine Lord expert in the Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion. His position was second only to the Wasteland Reclaimer General. His name was Mingzhe. Kill them. Mingzhe's eyes flashed with killing intent as he said in a low voice. The 3 of you go in first. I'll hide in the dark just in case. The black-robed leader said. All right. Mingzhe nodded as they flashed towards Dragon Emperor City. The black-robed leader's figure flashed and disappeared in the air. Of course, Lu Ming didn't activate the grand formation of Dragon Emperor City on purpose. Therefore, Mingzhe and the 2 people in black robes entered the city smoothly. No one. When they entered the city, they scanned the area with their spiritual senses and found that there was no one around. Suddenly, dense runes appeared around Mingzhe and the 2 black-robed men. Countless runes intertwined to form a huge array. The great formation enveloped them, condensing streaks of sword light, slashing towards them. This was a formation that Blue Merchant had set up long ago. Oh no, we've been tricked. One of the black-robed men shouted. There was no one here, only a formation. Needless to say, they understood that they had fallen into a trap. They had been exposed. Whoosh whoosh whoosh, the array condensed countless sword lights and attacked Mingzhe and the other 2. It's just a big formation. Just break it. Mingzhe shouted as a terrifying aura burst out. He brandished a huge saber and slashed out violently. The saber light burst out and shattered the sword lights. The 2 black-robed men also made their move. They were also very powerful. Both of them had the cultivation of Divine Lord Realm. They held a black battle sword in their hands and slashed out terrifying black sword light, destroying the sword light of the array. The 3 Divine Lords were very powerful. The great formation couldn't trap them at all. They quickly rushed out. At this moment, Lu Ming arrived with a group of people and appeared not far away. Lu Ming. The 2 black-robed men shot out cold killing intent from their eyes. The purpose of their trip was Lu Ming. Who are you? What are you doing here? You'd better be honest and I can leave you with a complete corpse. Lu Ming shouted coldly. You must be the master of Hidden Dragon Hall. What a boastful tone. Do you think a mere formation can trap us? Naive. Break it. Mingzhe roared as his aura became violent. He slashed out with his saber as though he was going to split the sky in half. The sword lights formed by the formation kept exploding. Swoosh. Mingzhe and his saber became one and turned into a dazzling saber light. It broke through the sword lights and rushed out of the great formation. Die, brat. Mingzhe's face was ferocious as he charged toward Lu Ming. He slashed out with his saber at Lu Ming. A Divine Lord Realm expert was too terrifying. He could split an ordinary planet in half with a single slash, let alone a human. If the saber hit, Lu Ming wouldn't even be left of him. Unfortunately, Mingzhe couldn't hit him. Kill? One of the Dark Ape fighting tribe members shouted as he stepped out. A metal rod appeared in his hand and he swung it, causing the air to explode. Clang. The metal rod and the saber collided and there was a loud explosion. A beam of light shot up into the sky and into the depths of the starry sky, causing a few meteorites to explode. Then Mingzha's body shook violently and he retreated. However, the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe member only took a few steps back. A Divine Lord Realm expert. Mingzha exclaimed as his eyes turned solemn. No wonder the three black-robed men said that Lu Ming wasn't easy to deal with. It turned out that he had a Divine Lord Realm expert by his side. So what if he has a Divine Lord Realm expert? Kill him. Mingzha shouted as he became one with his saber and charged forward again. The Dark Ape Fighting Tribe member shouted as his body began to swell. He used the unique Ghost Battle art of the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe. After using the Ghost Battle art, the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe member's strength increased tremendously. He swung his rod and the void shook violently. Bam! Mingzha's body was sent flying like a rubber ball. Kill? The Dark Ape Fighting Tribe member continued to charge toward Mingzha. This is a good chance. Kill. At that moment, the two black-robed men rushed out of the great formation and turned into two black sword lights. They charged toward Lu Ming at an extremely fast speed. However, two more Dark Ape Fighting Tribe members beside Lu Ming stood out and blocked the two black-robed men with their fists. Another Divine Lord. Two Divine Lords. The two black-robed men were shocked. They didn't expect Lu Ming to have so many Divine Lords by his side. They had expected that even if Lu Ming had Divine Lords by his side, there wouldn't be too many of them. Kill? The two Divine Lords of the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe shouted as they charged toward the two black-robed men and unleashed a storm of attacks. The two black-robed men were extremely powerful. Even though the two Dark Ape Fighting Tribe members had used their Ghost Battle art, they couldn't do anything to them and the battle ended in a draw. Lan Shu, can you tell what kind of secret skill they are using and who sent them? Lu Ming asked Blue Merchant through voice transmission. Lan Shang shook his head and said, they used assassination techniques so I couldn't see their origins. These people must have been secretly raised. To be able to send out several Divine Lord Realm assassins, it must be those people from the Holy Capital. Lu Ming nodded. At that moment, Mingzha was completely at a disadvantage. He was in imminent danger. Damn it! Mingzha shouted in his heart. He wanted to retreat and escape. Chapter 33-44. Mingzha had the intention to retreat and escape. With a roar, he unleashed all of his strength and used his strongest move to block the attack of the Dark Ape Battle Tribe warrior. Then he took the opportunity to retreat frantically, turned around and ran. But in the next moment, his body stiffened and his pupils shrank. He didn't know when, but another burly nether ape had appeared in front of him. Get out of my way! Mingzha shouted. His face was ferocious. He unleashed his full strength wanting to kill his way out. But he lost all hope immediately. Boom! The Dark Ape Fighting Tribe expert exuded a terrifying aura that swept across the starry sky. He was also a Divine Emperor. Ah, damn it! Mingzha roared in despair. He couldn't imagine how there could be so many Divine Emperors in the soldier's mansion. Kill? The elites of the Nether Ape Battle Tribe launched a barrage of attacks. The Dark Ape Fighting Tribe expert had also arrived. The two Divine Emperors of the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe joined forces and their power was too terrifying. Mingzha tried his best to defend but it was useless. After a few moves, Mingzha let out a blood-curdling scream. His body had been blasted apart by a huge fist, exploding into pieces. His soul tried to escape, but it was caught by another Dark Ape Battle Clan warrior. However, he didn't destroy Mingzha's soul for the time being because Lu Ming still had something to ask. The two black-robed men and the two Divine Emperors of the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe were locked in a fierce battle. They had already exchanged nearly 100 moves. The two black-robed men were indeed powerful. They were able to fight evenly with the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe expert who had used the Ghost Battle art. Swoosh! Suddenly, a sword light shot out from the top of Lu Ming's head. The sword light was as fast as lightning. It was unimaginably fast. It was like a fairy flying from the heavens and pierced towards Lu Ming's glabella. The terrifying sword light enveloped Lu Ming. Lu Ming couldn't even move. The third black-robed man had made his move. He was the leader of the three black-robed men and was stronger than the other two black-robed men. Second level Divine Emperor. Divine Lord Realm, the gap between each level was even greater. The difference between each level of the God King realm was huge. A higher level cultivator could easily kill a lower level cultivator. And the disparity between each level of the Divine Lord realm was even greater than that of a Divine King. The difference of a single level was like the difference between heaven and earth. This black-robed person who took action was a second-level Divine Lord. Such horrifying strength, in addition to hiding in the dark, suddenly attacking Lu Ming was simply a sure kill strike. Forget about Lu Ming, even a first-level Divine Lord powerhouse would also die without a doubt. Even a second-level Divine Lord would be in danger. However, the corners of Lu Ming's mouth curled up into a sneer, not panicking at all. This was because he had expected this to happen. Previously, through the formation that Blue Merchant had set up, he had already seen that there were 4 people on the other side. They were Mingzhi and 3 black-robed men. After that, only Mingzhi and 2 people in black robe rushed into Dragon Emperor City. Needless to say, one more person in black robe was lurking in the dark. Therefore Lu Ming was long prepared. The sword light speed was astonishingly fast, arriving in an instant. It looked like it was about to stab between Lu Ming's brows. Die. That black-robed person's eyes revealed a savage and excited glint, as if he already saw Lu Ming dying under his sword. As long as he killed Lu Ming, the state preceptor would definitely reward him handsomely. But at this time, Lu Ming's side suddenly extended 2 fingers, clamping at the sword light. Clang. The sword light trembled and was directly fixed, being clamped by 2 fingers, unable to move at all. Not good. The black-robed person leader's heart shook wildly, simply inconceivable. His sure-kill sword was actually blocked. Furthermore, it was even clamped by 2 fingers. How was this possible? He was a second-level Divine Lord powerhouse. What kind of existence was it, to be able to clamp his sure-kill sword with 2 fingers? Thinking up to here, his heart trembled, cold sweat flowing all over his body. Retreat. At this moment, there was only one word in his heart: retreat. Because an existence who could clamp his sword light with 2 fingers was absolutely not what he could deal with. He was extremely decisive. With a thought, he let go of the long sword and his figure retreated explosively. But it was already too late. The person who clamped the black-robed person leader with 2 fingers was naturally the Dark Ape Battle Race's Grand Elder Yuan Kong. Still want to leave now? Naive. Yuan Song's cold voice sounded. Following that, his fingers trembled and a terrifying power burst forth, surging into the battle sword. Immediately, the battle sword hummed and vibrated non-stop, then turned into a sword light, flying forward at a terrifying speed. Its speed was much faster than the black-robed person leader's explosively retreating speed. In an instant, it caught up with the black-robed person leader. Not good. The black-robed person leader's heart shook wildly. With a furious roar, he attacked with all his might. The sword light that filled the sky formed a huge wheel of sword chi, spinning continuously in front of him, wanting to block the sword light that was coming at him. But, puff! The sword light flashed and the wheel of sword chi instantly collapsed. The sword light pierced through the black-robed person leader's glabella. The black-robed person leader's eyes opened wide. Unfortunately, there was no longer any trace of life, completely fallen. He was killed in one move. So strong. Lu Ming exclaimed in his heart. Yuan Song's strength was unfathomable. Ever since he had followed him out, he had easily defeated the black-robed person several times. Lu Ming could not figure out Yuan Song's strength at all. However, one thing was for sure. Yuan Song's strength was absolutely astonishing. Lu Ming speculated that the overall strength of the Dark Ape Battle Race was definitely not below that of the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace. As the Grand Elder of the Dark Ape Battle Race, Yuan Song's strength was second only to the tribe leader of the Dark Ape Battle Race, Yuan Huan. One could imagine how terrifying his strength was. The black-robed person leader's death shocked the other 2 black-robed people. They did not dare to continue fighting and wanted to escape. However, under such circumstances, how could they escape? Bam! Yuan Song stepped out, stretched out a palm and pressed forward. Rumble. A huge black palm covered the sky, pressing down on the 2 black-robed people. The 2 black-robed people tried their best to resist, but the result was that their bodies shook violently and they vomited blood. They were severely injured and had no strength to resist. They were surrounded by the elites of the Dark Ape Battle Race. Who sent you? Lu Ming stared at the 2 black-robed people and asked coldly. If you want to kill us, then kill us. It's impossible for you to get information from us. One of the black-robed people replied as if he was unafraid of death. Aren't you afraid of death? Lu Ming asked. What's there to be afraid of? The 2 black-robed people replied. All right, then I'll send you on your way. Lu Ming said coldly. With a wave of his hand, a divine lord from the Dark Ape Battle Race stepped forward and punched out. One of the black-robed people exploded and died on the spot. He only killed one of them but left the other one alive. Are you going to speak now? If you speak, I'll let you live, Lu Ming said. However, the remaining black-robed person was not afraid at all. He looked coldly at Lu Ming without the slightest fear. Chapter 33:45. Lu Ming felt a headache coming on. One look and he knew that these people were specially trained to be sacrificial warriors and assassins. Lu Ming had met such people more than once along the way. These people weren't afraid of death at all. It was almost impossible to get information from them. Moreover, there was a restriction placed in their souls. Once their souls were searched, the restriction would be activated and destroy their souls. It was impossible to search their souls. I'll talk. At this moment, another voice was heard. It was Mingzhe's voice. Mingzhe was left with a wisp of soul in the hands of an expert from the Dark Ape fighting tribe. At the Divine Lord realm, one's soul was extremely powerful. Even if one's physical body was destroyed, one's soul could find a chance to be reborn. At this moment he was scared to death and he naturally shouted. Lu Ming was overjoyed. However, he didn't show it on his face. He said, "Tell me who sent you? If I tell you, you have to promise not to kill me." Mingzhe said. "All right, as long as you tell me, I won't kill you." Lu Ming said. "No, I don't trust verbal promises. You have to swear on your life origin and I'll let you go." Mingzhe shouted. "You still dare to talk terms with me at this moment? Kill him." Lu Ming's face turned cold. He waved his hand at the expert from the Dark Ape fighting tribe. No, don't," Mingzhe screamed in fear. His soul trembled and he almost collapsed. "Tell me," Lu Ming said indifferently. "I'm from the general's mansion. The general wants to kill you." Mingzhe shouted. He didn't dare to hide anything as he was afraid that he would be crushed. General's mansion. Lu Ming's eyes flashed coldly. He had heard of the general's mansion before. It was near the Hidden Dragon Mansion. Obviously the other party was afraid of him. That was why they sent someone to kill him. However, how could a mere wasteland reclamation general have so many experts? What about them? Don't tell me they're also from the general's mansion. Lu Ming looked at the black-robed man. They're not from the general's mansion, Mingzhe said quickly. Then where are they from? Who sent him? Lu Ming asked. I don't know about that, Mingzhe said. As he spoke, he saw Lu Ming's face darken. He quickly shouted, I really don't know. You have to believe me. They went to the Wasteland Reclaimer General and said that they would help him kill you. As for their identity and origin, even the Wasteland Reclaimer General doesn't know. What I said is true, Mingzhe shouted. He was afraid that Lu Ming would kill him out of anger. Lu Ming frowned. He felt that what Mingzhe said was true. They sent people to kill me openly, but they were afraid that it would cause panic in the other mansions. That's why they secretly sent people to assist the other mansions in killing me. This way no one would say anything. Lu Ming sneered, easily guessing the other party's plan. Is it the Crown Prince or the State Preceptor? Lu Ming's mind raced. Because these two people were the most suspicious. Of course, the other forces couldn't help but suspect them as well. For example, the Nine Serenities Heavenly King residents, the Lan family, the War God clan, etc. Kill him. Lu Ming transmitted his voice to one of the Dark Ape Combat Tribe members. The Dark Ape Combat Tribe member nodded and released his divine force. A destructive force surged towards Mingzhe's soul. Mingzhe screamed in horror, but in the next moment, his soul exploded and turned into ashes. Then Lu Ming looked at the last black-robed man and fell into deep thought. He was thinking about how to get some information from the other party. Let me search his soul. At this moment, Yuan Tsong spoke. I guess there's a seal in his soul, Lu Ming said. Yuan Tsong nodded and said, we can only try our best. We'll get as much information as we can. In the end, Lu Ming nodded. This was the only way. Perhaps, with Yuan Tsong's unfathomable cultivation, he could get some information. Yuan Tsong walked over and waved his hand. A powerful force shrouded the last black-robed man. The black-robed man's body kept exploding and blood splattered everywhere. His cultivation was completely destroyed. With his cultivation destroyed, his resistance to the soul search was weaker. Then ghostly qi spread out from Yuan Tsong's body and shrouded the black-robed man in it. Yuan Tsong began to search his soul. In the next moment, the black-robed man screamed. Runes appeared in between his eyebrows. His head expanded as if it was going to explode. There was indeed a seal in his soul. Once his soul was searched, it would self-destruct. Suppress him. Yuan Tsong shouted. His divine force surged, trying to suppress the seal. A dazzling light shone between the two of them. In the next moment there was a loud bang. The black-robed man's head exploded. He had died. The restrictive spell had activated. Senior Yuan Tsong, did you get any clues? Lu Ming asked. There was a glimmer of hope in his heart. I only got a fragment, but I already know who sent him. Yuan Tsong said. Who is it? Lu Ming quickly asked. The Grand Preceptor of the Taishu dynasty, Yuan Song said. It's him. Lu Ming's eyes shone with a cold light. It was obvious that the Grand Preceptor believed that Wu Fan had died at the hands of Lu Ming. He wanted to avenge Wu Fan and kill Lu Ming. Old man, one day I will take your head with my own hands, Lu Ming said in his heart. Also, the Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion can no longer exist. A cold light flashed in Lu Ming's eyes. After cleaning up the battlefield, Lu Ming led Yuan Song and a few Divine Lord Dark Ape fighting clan members toward the Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion. The Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion occupied a vast territory that spanned across a few galaxies. Its territory was much larger than a general's mansion. Of course, Lu Ming did not need to attack them one by one. He went straight to the Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion. At that moment, a banquet was being prepared in the Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion. The banquet was to celebrate the destruction of the Hidden Dragon Mansion and the few black-robed men. The Wasteland Reclaimer General knew that the black-robed men must have a powerful background. Therefore, he wanted to take the opportunity to curry favor with them. The Wasteland Reclaimer General sat at the top, slowly sipping his wine as he waited for the good news. General, suddenly a guard rushed in. How is it? Is Mingzhe back? Hurry up and ask him to come in, the Wasteland Reclaimer General said. No, someone broke in. They broke through the defense line outside the planet and killed their way here, the guard said. What? The Wasteland Reclaimer General stood up from his seat and shouted, Who is it? Which faction is it? How many people are there? I don't know. There are only 5 of them, the guard said. 5. The Wasteland Reclaimer General's eyes flashed. He was surprised. He thought that the other generals had come to attack him. Let's go and have a look. The Wasteland Reclaimer General walked out. Boom. As soon as he flew up, he heard a terrifying explosion. The buildings around him exploded one after another. Screams of agony were heard as experts were killed one after another. Chapter 3346. The Wasteland Reclaimer General looked up and saw 5 figures standing high up in the sky. They were like gods of war looking down. The 5 of them were Lu Ming, Yuan Song, and the other 3 Divine Lords. With the combat strength of the Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion, how could the Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion's defensive power stop them? They easily killed their way to the core of the Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion. The Wasteland Reclaimer General soared into the sky, exuding a terrifying aura. His eyes were filled with anger as he stared at Lu Ming and the others. Who are you? Why are you attacking my Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion? The Wasteland Reclaimer General roared. The few Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion gave him a feeling of fear. If it wasn't for his fear of their strength, he would have attacked and killed Lu Ming and the others. You just sent someone to assassinate me not long ago. Why are you still asking me who I am? Lu Ming replied indifferently. You are Lu Ming from the Hidden Dragon Mansion? The Wasteland Reclaimer General exclaimed, his eyes filled with disbelief. He had sent Mingzhe. Mingzhe was the only Divine Lord in the Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion other than him. The 3 black-robed men were even more unfathomable. They were definitely Divine Lords and they weren't ordinary Divine Lords. With such a powerful force, wouldn't it be foolproof to assassinate Lu Ming? Why wasn't Lu Ming dead? Why was he here? The Wasteland Reclaimer General had a bad premonition in his heart. A chill shot up to his head. You finally remember? Let me tell you. I am here today to send you on your way, Lu Ming said coldly. Let's go. The Wasteland Reclaimer General turned around and left without hesitation. For Lu Ming to appear here, he knew that Mingzhe and the others were most likely dead. Mingzhe and the others were most likely dead, and Lu Ming had killed his way here. It was obvious that Lu Ming controlled a terrifying force that he couldn't deal with. Therefore, he turned around and left without hesitation. However, before he could fly far, he stopped. A figure had appeared in front of him, blocking his path of retreat. This figure was none other than Yuan Kong. His speed was shockingly fast, and he arrived before the Wasteland Reclaimer General despite moving later. Brat, I'll kill you. The Wasteland Reclaimer General went berserk. With a roar, he charged towards Lu Ming. However, 3 Dark Ape Battle Tribe members stepped out from Lu Ming's side, exuding a terrifying aura. The 3 Sir Gods struck at the same time, sending 3 huge fists towards the Wasteland Reclaimer General. The cultivation of the Wasteland Reclaimer General was also a first-level Divine Lord. His combat strength was slightly stronger than Mingzhe's, but it was still not enough to face the 3 Dark Ape Fighting Tribe experts. After one move, the Wasteland Reclaimer General cried out in pain. His arm exploded, and cracks appeared on his body as he continuously coughed up blood. He roared and wanted to rush out from behind, but Ape Tsong casually slapped him and sent him flying, causing his injuries to worsen. "Spare me, spare me." The Wasteland Reclaimer General was terrified and he screamed crazily. Lu Ming's subordinates were too strong, especially Ape Kong. A casual slap from Ape Tsong was enough to suppress the Wasteland Reclaimer General. He knew that there was no way he could escape. If he forced himself, death would be the only way out. "You want to kill me and you ask me to spare you? What a joke," Lu Ming said coldly. "Spare me. As long as you spare me, I'm willing to surrender and submit to you. I'll bring the entire Wasteland Reclaimer General's residence to you." The Wasteland Reclaimer General shouted. "Bring the entire Wasteland Reclaimer General's residence to me?" Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. He then waved his hand, signaling the Dark Ape Battle Tribe experts to stop. He was now in the period of development and he was in need of manpower. It would be good if the Wasteland Reclaimer General surrendered. "You can surrender if you want. Swear on your life origin that you will be loyal to me forever and never betray me," Lu Ming said coldly. "Swear on your life origin? You're too much," the Wasteland Reclaimer General yelled. He was a divine lord. Once he swore on his life origin to be loyal to Lu Ming, he would be tied to Lu Ming for the rest of his life. It was hard for him to accept this. "Oh, then go to hell," Lu Ming said indifferently. He was too lazy to talk nonsense with the Wasteland Reclaimer General. No, I agree, the Wasteland Reclaimer General yelled, almost scared to death. He originally wanted to negotiate with Lu Ming, but he didn't expect that Lu Ming would not play by the rules at all. He didn't give him a chance to negotiate at all. If he didn't agree, he would kill him. He was very sullen, but in the face of such a situation he could only agree. Immediately, the Wasteland Reclaimer General swore on his life origin to be loyal to Lu Ming. Since the Wasteland Reclaimer General had submitted to Lu Ming, his subordinates naturally also submitted to Lu Ming, which meant that they were Lu Ming's men. "Take a group of the strongest experts and follow me to the Hidden Dragon Star," Lu Ming ordered the Wasteland Reclaimer General. The Wasteland Reclaimer General naturally chose a group of elites and followed Lu Ming to the Hidden Dragon Star. A smile appeared on Lu Ming's face as he sighed in his heart. Finally, there were people that he could use. Previously, he had only brought a few hundred people from the Nether Ape fighting tribe. Although they were all experts, the number was too small. Although Huang Dong had submitted to him later, Huang Dong was only a soldier's mansion after all. The number of experts under him was limited. The only peak Divine King experts were the Shenming Three Elders. The number was still too small. As for the Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion, it was a general's mansion with many experts under its command. There were actually more than 10 peak Divine King realm existences. In addition, there were even more high-tier Divine Kings. With this, the number of people under Lu Ming's command skyrocketed, and the number of experts had also increased. There were more people that he could use. In the next period of time, he would completely integrate the territory under the Wasteland Reclaimer General's mansion and control it in his hands. In the faraway Taishu sacred capital, in the Imperial Preceptor's mansion, the Imperial Preceptor was sitting high up in a large hall. "Is there still no news from the assassin?" the Imperial Preceptor asked with a gloomy face. The 3 Divine Lord Death Warriors that he had sent out were called the Assassins. Calculating the time, they should have returned long ago. However, they had yet to return and there was no news from them. This made the Imperial Preceptor feel uneasy and he was in a bad mood. "There is still no news. We have sent people to contact them, but there is no news at all," an old man replied. "Damn it, what is going on?" The Imperial Preceptor growled as the uneasiness in his heart grew. After thinking for a while, he said, "Go to the Assassins and check their life spirit jade tokens. Remember, do it secretly and do not let anyone discover you. Come back as soon as possible." "Yes." That old man cupped his fists and left the place in a flash. "Lu Ming." The Imperial Preceptor growled as his eyes were filled with killing intent. "You must have killed Fan Er. If I don't kill you, how can I face Fan Er?" His voice was filled with killing intent and it echoed in the hall. The Imperial Preceptor did not wait for long. Half a day later, the white-haired old man returned to the hall. Chapter 3347. "How is it?" the Imperial Advisor asked as soon as the white-haired elder returned. The white-haired elder's expression was ugly as he cupped his fists and said, "Imperial Advisor, the life spirit jade tablets of the 3 assassins have been shattered." "What?" the Imperial Advisor roared in disbelief. The shattering of the life spirit jade tablets meant that the 3 assassins had fallen. Those were 3 Divine Lord assassins. and there was even a second-level Divine Lord Assassin among them. This was a terrifying force, yet all of them had fallen. What kind of experts were by Lu Ming's side? The Imperial Advisor's face was extremely gloomy. He knew that he had underestimated Lu Ming. Continue to send people. I don't believe that we can't kill that little bastard. The Imperial Advisor roared as his killing intent intensified. Imperial Advisor, you can't. The white-haired elder quickly advised. What? The Imperial Advisor asked with red eyes. Now, the Thousand Saints' old Heavenly King and the people from the Thousand Saints' Heavenly King residence, including the Second Prince's men, are watching us. If we send people to assassinate Lu Ming, they will easily find out. When that time comes, they will accuse the Imperial Advisor in front of the Sacred Emperor. Also, Lu Ming has the Dark Ape fighting tribe by his side. I suspect that there are many Divine Lord existences by Lu Ming's side. There might even be experts from the Thousand Saints' Heavenly King residence by Lu Ming's side. Now that the assassination has failed, the next one will be much more difficult. It won't be that easy. The white-haired elder explained. Then what better way do you have? We can't possibly let that little bastard get away scot-free. I've already said that Lu Ming must die. The Imperial Advisor said coldly. That kid must be killed, but there's no need to rush. The white-haired elder said. Oh, what do you have in mind? The Imperial Advisor said. He was an overlord after all. He slowly calmed down and knew that it wasn't wise to send people now. The last time he was impulsive, he had charged into the Great Void Imperial Academy. This matter was reported to the Sacred Emperor by the Second Prince and he was severely punished. Now everyone was watching him. If he had any weakness that could be used against him, he would probably be punished even more severely. However, he would not be satisfied if he did not kill Lu Ming. Grandmaster, isn't Lu Ming in the Heavenly Chaos Galaxy? That place is very close to the battlefield between the Taishu dynasty and the barbarian tribe. If Lu Ming wants to develop and upgrade the level of the clan mansion, it's not enough to just exterminate the interstellar pirates. Later on he will definitely join the battlefield and kill the barbarian tribe. Only then will he be able to accumulate merits faster. As long as he goes to the battlefield and joins the army, wouldn't it be easy to kill him? The white-haired old man said. That makes sense. The Imperial Preceptor's eyes suddenly lit up. As long as Lu Ming joined the army and joined the battlefield, he had many ways to get rid of Lu Ming without leaving any traces behind. Then let that brat live for a while longer. As long as he enters the battlefield, he will die. The Imperial Master said coldly. The Hidden Dragon Mansion entered a period of stable development. Lu Ming continued to send people to fight and exterminate the interstellar pirates in the surrounding areas to accumulate merits. As for Lu Ming, he and Autumn Moon cultivated under the primordial idol. At the same time, Lu Ming also allowed those who contributed to the war to cultivate under the primordial idol. Those who cultivated under the primordial idol were all stunned by the effect of the primordial idol. The effect was simply too amazing. These people had never seen such an effective primordial idol. Naturally, the news that Lu Ming had a primordial deity statue with heaven-defying effects spread. Immediately, Lu Ming's subordinates worked even harder to kill the interstellar pirates. They wanted to obtain the opportunity to cultivate under the primordial idol. Comprehending divine power, understanding the origin divine power factor, and awakening origin secret skills were all things regardless of one's cultivation level. Even divine lords had to constantly comprehend and cultivate. The attraction of the primordial idol was naturally great. As for Wan Xin, he did not accompany Lu Ming and the others to cultivate during this period. According to Wan Xin himself, his cultivation level had reached a bottleneck. He needed to go out to fight and find an opportunity to break through to the Divine Lord realm. Hence, Wan Xin followed the army to hunt the interstellar pirates. Just like that, time flew by. A few decades passed. In these years, Lu Ming's territory grew larger and larger. The number of experts under him also increased. Many of them heard that Lu Ming had a mysterious primordial idol and voluntarily came to join Lu Ming. Of course, those who wanted to join Lu Ming had to first enter the array set up by Blue Merchant and be tested. Those with ulterior motives were all chased out by Lu Ming. On this day, Lu Ming was cultivating when someone suddenly came to report that someone wanted to see Lu Ming. Who is it? Lu Ming asked. It seems to be someone from Lord Flowing Wind's residence. The subordinate reported. Lord Flowing Wind's residence. Lu Ming's eyes flashed. In the entire Heaven Chaos Starfield, there was only one marquee residence and that was the Lord Flowing Wind's residence. It was a residence that had developed for countless years and was extremely powerful. The Marquis residence was second only to the Heavenly Monarch residence. The lord of the Marquis residence was known as the Marquis. He was already a high-ranking member of the Taishu dynasty. His overall strength was extremely powerful. Some of the top Marquis residences were comparable to some of the weaker Heavenly Monarch residences. For example, the top few Marquis residences were not weaker than the 9 extinction Heavenly Monarch residence. They only lacked merit. Once they accumulated enough merit, they could be promoted to a new Heavenly Monarch residence. The Lord Flowing Winds residence was naturally not as powerful, but it was not to be underestimated. Why did the Lord Flowing Winds residence suddenly send someone to see him? Let's go and have a look. Lu Ming walked outside and came to a large hall. This hall was specially used to receive guests. When Lu Ming arrived, he saw that a few people had already sat down. However, they were not sitting on the guest seats but on the main seats. A middle-aged man in his 30s sat on the main seat. Beside him stood 2 old men. You are Lu Ming, the lord of the Hidden Dragon residence? The middle-aged man sat on the main seat that belonged to Lu Ming. He looked down at Lu Ming and asked indifferently. That's right. Lu Ming smiled casually and walked to a seat on the side and sat down. How dare you? An old man beside the middle-aged man shouted coldly. He stared at Lu Ming and said, The young Marquis didn't ask you to sit and you dare to sit? Who gave you the courage to do so? Lu Ming smiled. He was speechless. This was his territory, the Hidden Dragon Star. The other party came here for no reason. Not only did he sit on the main seat, but he was also scolded when he sat down himself. Wasn't he feeling too good about himself? This is my territory, the Hidden Dragon Star, not the Lord Flowing Winds residence. Lu Ming replied indifferently. So what? No matter where you are? How can your status be compared to the young Marquis? You're just the lord of a military residence. When you see the young Marquis you must be respectful. Don't you understand? The old man shouted angrily. Chapter 33:48. You're willing to be a dog? I don't have the habit of doing that. Lu Ming was so angry that he laughed sarcastically. You are courting death, the old man shouted angrily. His eyes were cold as he exuded a powerful aura. This was the aura of a divine sovereign. Whoosh, whoosh. The elder had just released his aura when a few figures dashed in from outside the main hall and stood beside Lu Ming. They were the experts of the Dark Ape fighting tribe. All right. At this moment, the middle-aged man in his 30s spoke. Then, the old man retracted his aura and stood behind the middle-aged man respectfully. You're Lu Ming, right? All right, I'll get straight to the point. I'll tell you the purpose of my visit this time. You've developed very quickly during this period of time and occupied many resource planets. You can excavate and mine these resource planets. At this point, the middle-aged man paused for a moment. Lu Ming didn't say anything and waited for the middle-aged man to continue. However, from now on, the Hidden Dragon Palace will have to pay tribute to the Flowing Wind Marquis Mansion every year. The specific amount has been listed. Take a look. The middle-aged man waved his hand and a jade talisman flew towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming reached out to take it, revealing a sarcastic smile at the corners of his mouth. It turned out that the middle-aged man was here to ask him to pay tribute. However, Lu Ming had no intention of paying tribute. He squeezed the jade talisman with his fingers, and with a bang the jade talisman was crushed. Lu Ming didn't even look at it because he didn't need to. Seeing that Lu Ming didn't even look at the jade talisman, the middle-aged man's face turned gloomy. His eyes were filled with cold killing intent as he said coldly, Lu Ming, what do you mean by this? What I mean is simple. I have no intention of paying tribute to anyone. So please leave. Lu Ming waved his hand and asked them to leave. You don't want to pay tribute? Lu Ming, let me tell you. If you don't want to pay tribute to the Flowing Wind Marquis Mansion, then get out of the Heavenly Chaos Star region. There's no place for you here. The middle-aged man shouted with a ferocious expression. No place for me? I'd like to see how you're going to make me lose my footing. Nah, scram. Lu Ming coldly shouted. Brat, you're courting death. Beside the middle-aged man, the old man roared angrily. He took a step forward, causing the void to tremble violently. A violent aura erupted, causing the entire hall to tremble. A wave-like aura pressed down on Lu Ming, wanting to force Lu Ming to his knees. However, before his aura could touch Lu Ming, another aura rushed out from Lu Ming's side and blocked him. A powerhouse from the Dark Ape Battle Tribe appeared in front of Lu Ming. How dare you resist? You deserve to die. When the old man saw that his aura was blocked, he immediately became furious. His figure was like a big bird as he pounced towards Lu Ming. Make him lie down. Lu Ming said calmly. Yes. The Dark Ape Battle Tribe member revealed a ferocious expression, and the corners of his mouth curled into a sinister smile as he charged towards the old man. Boom. The two of them exchanged a blow, and violent energy waves spread out in all directions. However, another powerhouse from the Dark Ape Battle Tribe stepped out from Lu Ming's side and blocked the energy waves. How dare you? Kill. At this time, another old man behind the middle-aged man said coldly. He stepped out and an extremely shocking aura erupted from him. This old man was also a divine lord. The middle-aged man had brought two divine lords with him, clearly wanting to intimidate Lu Ming. However, two divine lords were clearly not enough. Let me. Beside Lu Ming, a burly Dark Ape Fighting Tribe member walked out. He pressed his huge hand forward and a huge palm grabbed the elder's attack. The elder's attack was immediately dispersed by the huge palm. Second-level Divine Lord. The old man exclaimed and his expression changed drastically. This time, the Dark Ape Battle Tribe member was a second-level Divine Lord. A second-level Divine Lord was much stronger than a first-level Divine Lord. Boom. The second-level Divine Lord Dark Ape Battle Tribe member stepped out, and the void shook violently as he launched an attack. Stop. This is a misunderstanding. The old man shouted and he was afraid. He wanted to calm Lu Ming down and retreat first. However, Lu Ming sneered and could not be bothered with him. The second-level Divine Lord Dark Ape Battle Tribe member continued to attack. After a few moves, the old man could not hold on any longer. He was suppressed by the Dark Ape Battle Tribe member, and his body twitched as he lay on the ground, vomiting blood. And that old man who attacked first was also not much better. On the same level, he was forced back repeatedly. In the end, that second-level Divine Lord powerhouse went up and suppressed him with one move, making him also lie on the ground, vomiting large mouthfuls of blood. The two old men were suppressed one after another, and they vomited blood as they lay on the ground. You, the middle-aged man trembled with anger as he glared at Lu Ming. At the same time he was secretly shocked. He did not expect Lu Ming to have such powerful people around him. There were even second-level Divine Lords. Now get down here. Lu Ming stepped forward and walked toward the middle-aged man. Lu Ming, you. How dare you? Do you know who I am? I am the son of Marquis Lu Feng, and Marquis Lu Feng is my father. How dare you touch me? The middle-aged man shouted. Get down here. Lu Ming shouted coldly. His aura surged as he threw a palm at the middle-aged man. Lu Ming, you are known as a peerless genius. You are ranked third in the new batch of the Great Void Imperial Family Sacred Academy. I would like to see what you are capable of. The middle-aged man shouted angrily as his aura surged. His body was covered in a blue radiance that turned into a blue battle blade and slashed at Lu Ming. The middle-aged man was called Lu Fengxiao. He was also a disciple of the Great Void Imperial Family Sacred Academy a few batches ago. He was also a peerless genius and was very powerful. Clang. The two of them exchanged blows. Lu Ming's body trembled as he took a step back. Peak of the 7th level Divine King Realm. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. Haha, third place. That's all there is to it. Kneel down. Lu Fengxiao's confidence was boosted when he saw Lu Ming take a step back. He continued to attack Lu Ming. That's all there is to it? Lu Ming's lips curled into a mocking smile. He had just casually thrown out a blow and didn't use much strength. Boom. At this moment, Lu Ming activated the Battle Character Sutra to increase his combat strength by 4 times. At the same time, the 11 types of divine force in his body surged out rapidly. Then Lu Ming activated the Heavenly Demon Golden Body and threw a palm at Lu Fengxiao. Boom. Lu Ming's palm landed on the opponent's blue battle blade. There was a loud boom. Lu Fengxiao's blue battle blade vibrated continuously before it exploded with a bang. The violent force made Lu Fengxiao's body tremble violently as he took a few steps back. His eyes were filled with disbelief. Your strength? Lu Fengxiao exclaimed. Although he wasn't a peerless genius, he was at the peak of the 7th layer of the Divine King Realm. On the other hand, Lu Ming was only at the 5th layer of the Divine King Realm. Lu Fengxiao was 2 layers higher than Lu Ming. However, he was forced to take a few steps back by Lu Ming. Trash. Lu Ming said coldly as he continued to attack. Not long after, Lu Fengxiao and the other 2 old men fell to the ground and vomited blood like dead dogs. Chapter 3349. Lu Fengxiao lay on the ground and vomited blood. He was severely injured. Damn it, damn it! Lu Fengxiao roared in his heart and his eyes were filled with killing intent. However, he didn't dare to let Lu Ming see him, fearing that he would be killed by Lu Ming. Now get out of my sight. Lu Ming said coldly. Let's go, let's go. Lu Fengxiao struggled to get up as he gritted his teeth and walked out in humiliation. The two old men quickly followed him. In the blink of an eye they disappeared. Battle Ancestor, are you going to let them go just like that? They might take revenge. One of the Dark Ape battle race said. It's fine. If they want to take revenge, let them come. Lu Ming smiled. He didn't care about the Flowing Wind Marquee Palace. If they wanted to take revenge, they could mess up the situation in the Heavenly Chaos Star region and take advantage of the situation. Lu Ming's days went back to normal as he focused on cultivating. In the Flowing Wind Marquee Palace, the Flowing Wind Marquee was sitting in a large hall. Father, you must take revenge for me. That Lu Ming is too arrogant. I only went to ask him for a tribute and he beat me up like this. Lu Fengxiao cried as he complained. Bam! The Flowing Wind Marquee smashed the chair into pieces with his palm. Lu Ming, he thinks he can do whatever he wants just because he's talented. The Flowing Wind Marquee's face was dark as killing intent flashed in his eyes. Father, you must take revenge for me. Lu Fengxiao cried. Don't worry. The Hidden Dragon Palace doesn't need to exist anymore. Man. The Flowing Wind Marquee ordered. Instantly a figure flashed out. Send men to destroy the Hidden Dragon Palace. The Flowing Wind Marquee ordered. Yes. The figure received the order. Just as he was about to leave and gather the experts to attack Lu Ming, a burly man who looked like a guard rushed into the main hall. Marquis, bad news? The bodyguard said anxiously. What happened? Why are you panicking? Marquis Flowing Wind asked coldly. My lord, I don't know what happened, but the 4 interstellar pirates of the Heavenly Chaos Starfield suddenly joined forces and attacked the mansions of the Taishu dynasty. They have already occupied one of the galaxies in the Lufeng Marquis residence. The guard reported. What? Marquis Flowing Wind was shocked as he stood up from his seat. The 4 great interstellar pirates teaming up? How is this possible? Why are they teaming up? Marquis Flowing Wind almost roared. There were countless interstellar pirates in the Heaven Chaos Starfield, but there were 4 groups of interstellar pirates who were known as the 4 Pirate Kings. They were the Green Hair Pirate Group, the 100 Beast Pirate Group, the Red Beard Pirate Group, and the Biggie Pirate Group. The 4 pirate groups dominated the Heavenly Chaos Star region and were extremely powerful. Even the Wind Marquee Mansion was wary of them. However, in the past, the 4 great interstellar pirate crews fought for themselves, each occupying a star sector. They had never cooperated before and would even attack each other to fight for territory and resources. Why would they join forces to attack them this time? Send out experts to defend with all your might. We must stop them. Marquis Flowing Wind shouted and gave the order. Faced with such a situation, he could no longer care about Lu Ming. He had to deal with the interstellar pirates first before dealing with Lu Ming. Not long after, a large number of experts from the Wind Marquee Mansion set off to the border. The Heavenly Chaos Starfield was already chaotic, and it had become even more chaotic during this period. The 4 great interstellar pirate crews had joined forces to attack the territories of the Taishu dynasty. For a time, the Heavenly Chaos Starfield was embroiled in chaotic battles. Lu Ming and the others were also paying attention to this matter. Fortunately, Lu Ming's territory was in the east of the Heavenly Chaos Starfield and was surrounded by other territories. The interstellar pirates would not be able to reach Lu Ming's territory for the time being, so Lu Ming's territory was relatively safe. On this day, Lu Ming gathered many experts for a meeting to discuss how to deal with the situation. At this time, the messenger from the Wind Marquee Mansion arrived at the Hidden Dragon Mansion and met with Lu Ming. The Wind Marquee Mansion has gathered all the territories in the Heavenly Chaos Starfield to gather at the Wind Marquee Mansion for a meeting. We will fight against the interstellar pirates together. This was the message brought by the messenger from the Wind Marquee Mansion. After the announcement, the messenger left. Gathering everyone at the Wind Marquee Mansion? Everyone was shocked. Mansion Lord, I don't think it's appropriate. You offended Lu Fengxiao last time. If you go to the Wind Marquee Mansion, you will be targeted. The Wasteland Reclaimer General suggested. Ever since he had joined Lu Ming, the Wasteland Reclaimer General had been thinking for Lu Ming. After all, they were now in the same boat. It's fine. I want to see what tricks they have up their sleeves. Lu Ming smiled. Moreover, the Taishu dynasty had a rule that the higher-level territories had the right to gather the lower-level territories to fight against the enemy. If he did not go, the enemy would have more reasons to target him. Gather everyone and set off. Lu Ming announced. Not long after, Lu Ming led a group of experts and set off for the Wind Marquee Mansion. When they arrived at the Wind Marquee Mansion, someone had arranged a place for them to stay for the time being. After all, they had to wait for the other territories to gather before they could discuss the details. Time flew and half a month passed in the blink of an eye. At this time, someone came to inform Lu Ming and the others to discuss the matter. Lu Ming and the others followed the person who led the way. Not long after, they arrived at a huge open space. This open space was very spacious, and it was divided into different areas that represented different territories. Lu Ming and the others found the hidden dragon mansion and sat down in that area. After that, more and more people came. They were all from the other territories, including the army mansion and the general's mansion. There were at least 100 territories of different sizes. Every clan had brought a large number of experts with them. This area was instantly crowded with people. Relatively speaking, Lu Ming had brought the least number of people with him. The Wind Marquis is here. Suddenly, someone shouted. In the distance, a group of people flew over. There were many of them and they looked majestic. The person leading the group was an old man who looked to be in his 60s. He was tall and sturdy and his aura was like a mountain. He was the Wind Marquis Wind Tiger. Beside Wind Tiger was a middle-aged man in his 30s. He was Wind Xiao. The people from the Wind Marquis mansion landed in their exclusive area. That area was the highest location and they could overlook everything. Greetings, Wind Marquis. Many people stood up and cupped their fists. Of course, Lu Ming sat there casually and he had no intention of standing up. Please take a seat. The Wind Marquis waved his hand and everyone sat down. At the same time, he glanced at Lu Ming and a cold light flashed in his eyes. I'm sure everyone knows why I've gathered all of you here. The Wind Marquis paused for a while and said, the 4 pirate groups have joined forces to attack the territories of the Taishu dynasty. During this period, many territories have suffered. Chapter 3350. Hearing Flowing Wind Marquis' words, some people's faces darkened. These people had been attacked by the pirates recently and had suffered heavy losses. Some of them had even been wiped out by the pirates. Only the survivors had managed to escape to the Flowing Wind Marquis Palace. This time, I've gathered everyone together to unite the forces of the clan palace and fight against the 4 pirate groups. Flowing Wind Marquis said loudly. We're willing to listen to your orders. We'll do our best. Instantly, many people agreed with Flowing Wind Marquis. Does anyone have a different opinion? Or is anyone unwilling to help? Flowing Wind Marquis glanced around. No one said a word. According to the rules of the Taishu dynasty, the higher-ranked palace had the right to mobilize the lower-ranked palace to fight together. Naturally, no one dared to object. Lu Ming didn't say anything either. Since there are no objections, this matter is settled. Now I will distribute the tasks. The various prefectures must do their jobs well. Do your best to stop the attack of the pirates and even destroy them. Flowing Wind Marquis said loudly. No one said anything. They were all waiting for Flowing Wind Marquis to continue. The next task allocation was the main point that everyone was concerned about. Flowing Wind Marquis started to assign the tasks. Soon it was Lu Ming's turn. Hidden Dragon Palace, Meteor Palace, General Chen Yu's Palace. You guys are in charge of guarding the Flying Joy system. Flowing Wind Marquis said. What? Flying Joy system? That's where the Redbeard pirates are attacking. Aren't you sending us to our deaths by sending us there? A middle-aged man yelled. He was the palace lord of the Meteor Palace. At the same time, the other palace lords yelled as well. There was a giant teleportation array in the Flying Joy system. That was where the Redbeard pirates were attacking. As long as they could take over the Flying Joy system, they could use the teleportation array to send their troops to attack the other palaces. This was the main direction of attack of the Redbeard pirates. With just the few of them guarding there, they were undoubtedly courting death. What? You have a problem with that? You don't want to do your best? Flowing Wind Marquis scolded as his face darkened. Haha, my hidden dragon mansion is located in the hinterland far away from the Flying Joy Galaxy. What do you mean by sending my hidden dragon mansion to the Flying Joy Galaxy to stop the Redbeard pirates? Lu Ming sneered. The hidden dragon hall was located in the hinterland, and it would take a long time for the pirate group to reach there. However, the Flowing Wind Marquis had sent the hidden dragon hall there. It was obvious that he was targeting Lu Ming and wanted to borrow the strength of the Redbeard pirate group to eliminate him. Before Lu Ming could say anything, the Meteor Mansion's mansion master shouted. Marquis, I know I offended the young Marquis in the past, but you can't target me like this. You want me to go against the Redbeard pirates? That's suicide. The mansion master of Meteor Mansion shouted. How dare you? The Flowing Wind Marquis scolded as a terrifying aura emanated from his body. Everyone felt as if a huge rock was pressing down on them. The chief of the Meteor Mansion was the first to bear the brunt of the attack. His expression changed drastically as he retreated continuously, almost spitting out blood. Are you saying that I'm abusing my power to avenge a personal grudge, deliberately targeting you and sending you there? The Flowing Wind Marquis said coldly. The mansion master of Meteor Mansion did not say anything, but his expression told everyone that this was what he was thinking. Let me tell you, I, the Flowing Wind Tiger, will do things according to the rules. I will never use my power to avenge a personal grudge. This time, to deal with the 4 pirate group, we need all the manners to work together to have a chance of winning. If everyone has their own agenda and does not want to contribute, how can we be a match for the 4 pirate group? Alright, if anyone has any objections, we'll follow the rules. I'll report to the Sacred Dynasty and say that there are manners who are not willing to accept the assignment. The Flowing Wind Marquis said. The mansion master of Meteor Mansion's face turned ugly. Lu Ming sneered and did not say anything this time. The Flowing Wind Marquis was too hypocritical. Even if Lu Ming spoke, it would be useless and he would be targeted for not respecting the rules. The Qianyu General's mansion will follow the Marquis's orders and do our best. The general of the Qianyu General's mansion hurriedly said. He was also sent to go with Lu Ming. Alright, the tasks for each manners have been assigned. You can set off now and complete your tasks. Annihilate the 4 pirate group together. The Flowing Wind Marquis said loudly. Yes. Everyone accepted the order and left for the teleportation array, heading to the places that they were assigned to guard. Lu Ming also led a group of experts and left for the Flying Joy Galaxy. Not long after, all the manners left, leaving only the Flowing Wind Marquis mansion. Father, this is a smart move. Humph, the Hidden Dragon Mansion, the Meteor Mansion. All of them have to die for offending me. This time we can borrow the strength of the Redbeard pirate group to annihilate them. Lu Fengxiao sneered. My plan is not only to kill them. With the combined strength of the Hidden Dragon Mansion and the Meteor Mansion, if we were to fight to the death, we would still be able to block the Redbeard Pirate Company for a couple of days. A couple of days would have passed by the time they are destroyed. We will take advantage of these days to destroy the big pirate company and break the 4 great pirate companies one by one. The Flowing Wind Marquis eyes shone with wisdom. Great Father. This is great. Not only can we take the opportunity to annihilate the Hidden Dragon Mansion and the Meteor Mansion, but we can also use their strength to deal with the Redbeard pirate group. This is killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm impressed. Lu Fengxiao said with admiration. Haha, the Flowing Wind Marquis laughed proudly. The Flying Joy Galaxy was located in the central region of the Heaven Chaos Starfield. There was a huge teleportation array here which made it a battleground for military forces. The Redbeard pirate group was not far away from this region. If they wanted to attack the various manners of the Taishu dynasty, they would have to seize the teleportation array first. Therefore they would definitely attack this region. Not long later, Lu Ming, the Meteor Mansion, General Qianyu's mansion, and the rest of the 8 mansions arrived and landed on a meteorite outside the Fei-La Galaxy. Everyone's here, right? Now I'll announce your missions. General Qianyu swept his gaze across the group like a boss. Indeed, there was only one general's mansion among the 8 manors. In terms of rank, General Qianyu's mansion was the highest. Everyone looked at General Qianyu. You guys guard the planet on the left. General Qianyu pointed at the 2 manors, then at Lu Ming and the Meteor Mansion's mansion master. Both of you guard the planet in front. Remember, the teleportation array is on that planet. You must protect that planet even if you have to die. Do you understand? General Qianyu said. Hee hee. Lu Ming laughed sarcastically. What are you laughing at? General Qianyu glanced at Lu Ming coldly. You've given us all the dangerous missions. May I ask what mission you're going to take? Lu Ming asked. Chapter 3351. Facing Lu Ming's question, General Qianyu's eyes became even colder. Are you doubting me? General Qianyu said coldly. That's right. I am doubting you. Lu Ming said indifferently, not giving any face to General Qianyu. General Qianyu's face became even colder as he glanced at Lu Ming with a hint of killing intent. Let me tell you. What is the Qianyu General Residence doing? Our Qianyu General Residence is the strongest here. We should be in charge of the rear and control the situation. If one side can't hold on any longer, I will send reinforcements. Do you understand now? General Qianyu said coldly. Guard the rear? I think you're trying to preserve your strength so that you can retreat as soon as the situation goes south. Am I right? Lu Ming sneered. How dare you? You're slandering us. General Qianyu roared. Slandering? How about this? Let's exchange positions. I'll guard the rear and control the situation. It's the same. Lu Ming said. You? Controlling the situation requires the strongest strength. My Qianyu prefecture is a general residence. You're just a soldier residence. How dare you compete with me? Do you think that your hidden dragon residence is stronger than my Qianyu general residence? General Qianyu said coldly. That's right. That's what I think. No. In fact, my hidden dragon residence is stronger than yours. Lu Ming said with a faint smile. Arrogant. Arrogant. General Qianyu shouted angrily. His face was ferocious and murderous. Since you've said so, I'll see how strong your hidden dragon residence is. Men, take him down. General Qianyu waved his hand. Immediately, a few men stepped out from behind him and walked towards Lu Ming while emitting powerful auras. There were 3 of them and all of them were peak divine kings. You've repeatedly contradicted the general. Kneel down and admit your mistake. Kneel down. The 3 peak divine kings attacked Lu Ming. A terrifying pressure pressed down on Lu Ming. They wanted to force Lu Ming to his knees. However, Lu Ming was like a towering mountain, standing there motionlessly. Make them kneel. Lu Ming said coldly and waved his hand. Boom. One of the Dark Ape Battle Tribe members stepped forward and stretched out a palm. Immediately, a huge palm condensed out of thin air and pressed towards the 3 peak divine kings. Divine Lord, the 3 peak divine kings roared in fear. Then, with a plop, they could not resist at all. They were directly forced to kneel on the ground in front of Lu Ming. Divine Lord, you actually have a Divine Lord realm powerhouse. No wonder you're so gutsy, not placing me in your eyes. General Qianyu's pupils constricted, revealing a dignified expression. The expressions of the other palaces were grave as well. It was rare for a Divine Lord realm powerhouse to appear in a general's palace. Usually, only the general's palace would have a Divine Lord realm powerhouse. Of course, there were exceptions. Are there any stronger ones? Send them out. Lu Ming said lightly. Lu Ming, don't think that you can go against me just because you have a Divine Lord realm powerhouse. You're still too young. General Qianyu shouted coldly and stepped forward. A violent aura rushed out from his body. When he stepped out, an old man beside him stepped out as well. Similarly, a terrifying aura erupted from him. Divine Lord realm. General Qianyu and the Elder were both Divine Lords. Apparently, General Qianyu also had 2 Divine Lords. This was comparable to General Wasteland Reclaimer's palace. You go and block that Divine Lord realm powerhouse. Leave the rest to me. General Qianyu transmitted his voice to the Elder. The Elder nodded and continued to rush toward the Dark Ape Battle Clan Cultivator. General Qianyu himself rushed towards Lu Ming. Young man, you'd better keep a low profile and be obedient. General Qianyu's eyes flashed coldly. His violent aura formed a storm and rushed towards Lu Ming. However, before the storm reached Lu Ming, an even more powerful aura rushed out from Lu Ming's side and destroyed General Qianyu's aura. It was another Dark Ape Battle Tribe powerhouse. A Divine Lord. Another Divine Lord. General Qianyu was shocked. He quickly retreated with a solemn face. The Elder from General Qianyu's palace was also shocked. He quickly retreated and did not dare to stay. There are 2 Divine Lords. The people from the other palaces were also shocked. They did not expect Lu Ming to have 2 Divine Lords with him. It was no wonder that he did not take General Qianyu seriously and was not afraid of General Qianyu at all. Immediately they were overjoyed. The stronger Lu Ming was, the higher their chances of resisting the Redbeard pirates. How is my strength now? Lu Ming looked at General Qianyu emotionlessly. Humph. General Qianyu snorted and did not speak. Not talking? Hee, then I will guard the rear. How about that? Lu Ming continued. Wait a minute. Since you are so powerful, I think we can change our plan. General Qianyu said. How? Lu Ming asked. I did not know that you were so powerful before, so I misjudged you. Now that you are so powerful, we don't need to guard the rear. We can set up a defense on the planet with the teleportation array. With our strength, we can set up the array in advance and stop the Redbeard pirates for a while. Once the Marquis Mansion has dealt with the enemy, they will come to our aid. What do you think? General Qianyu said. He saw that Lu Ming had 2 Divine Lords with him, so he did not dare to be arrogant. No, I don't think this is a good idea. Lu Ming shook his head. Then what do you want to do? General Qianyu asked. To put it bluntly, the Marquis Mansion did not send us here with good intentions. They want to use the power of the Redbeard pirates to get rid of us, Lu Ming said. His words made the others' faces turn pale. They naturally knew what the Marquis Mansion was planning. But what could they do? Since that's the case, why should we risk our lives here? My plan is to wait for the Redbeard pirates to attack, Then retreat and give this place to the Redbeard pirates. Lu Ming said with a smile. What? The others turned pale with fright. If they did not resist and retreated, wouldn't the Redbeard pirates be able to use the teleportation array to kill their way to the hinterland of the Heaven Chaos Star area? You! How dare you! You are defecting to the enemy. You are committing a capital offense. General Jianghu shouted. What do you mean by defecting to the enemy? As long as we destroy the 4 pirate groups, it will be a great achievement. How can I be guilty? Lu Ming sneered. Destroy the 4 pirate groups? Dream on. You lunatic. I'm going to report this to the Wind Marquis. Just wait for your punishment. General Jianghu shouted and was about to leave with his men to report to the Marquis Mansion. Chapter 3352. General Jianghu had also offended the Wind Marquis Palace in the past, but he had long regretted it and wanted to mend the relationship between the 2 families. Now, if he told the Wind Marquis about Lu Ming's idea, he might be able to mend the relationship between the 2 families and stop him from guarding the Flying Joy Galaxy. Therefore he wanted to leave immediately. However, Lu Ming would not let him leave. Swoosh, swoosh. In a flash, several Abyssal Ape Battle Tribe members surrounded the people from the Jianghu army. What? You still want to use force? You have 2 Divine Emperors and I have 2 Divine Emperors. Do you think you can stop me? General Jianghu sneered. I have 2 Divine Emperors? Who told you that? Did you imagine it yourself? Lu Ming sneered. He waved his hand and said, take them down. Boom, boom, boom. The few Dark Ape Fighting Tribe members released their auras at the same time. The terrifying auras caused the entire galaxy to tremble. There were 4 of them and all of them were Divine Emperors. General Jianghu's eyes widened in disbelief. He shouted, all of them are Divine Emperors. How is this possible? Kill. One of the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe members shouted and stepped forward to attack. The remaining 3 Dark Ape Fighting Tribe members did not move. They guarded the area to prevent others from escaping. Charge out. General Jianghu shouted and led his men to charge out of the encirclement. A group of people joined forces and attacked the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe member. 2 first-layer Divine Emperors and a large group of high-level Divine Kings joined forces and their power was terrifying. However, the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe member punched out and the void exploded. The terrifying fist energy shattered the fist energy of General Jianghu and the others. The terrifying fist energy did not stop there. It surged towards the Jianghu's men like a raging wave. The bodies of those Divine Kings trembled violently, and they were sent flying backward like broken sacks. They fell to the ground and vomited blood. The Dark Ape Fighting Tribe member had shown mercy. Otherwise, these Divine Kings would have all died. General Jianghu and the other Divine Lord Realm existence also trembled violently, retreating again and again. Second layer Divine Emperor. General Jianghu shouted in shock. Kill. The Nether Ape continued to attack. His body swelled up as he used the Ghost Battle Art. His strength became even stronger, and every move he made caused the starry sky to move along with him. The meteorite under their feet directly exploded and turned into dust. The others retreated in a sorry state. Facing a second-level Divine Lord Dark Ape Battle Tribe member, General Jianghu were no match for him. Even if they gave it their all, they could only retreat, completely suppressed. After a few moves, that elder was struck. His body flew backwards, coughing out large mouthfuls of blood. He was seriously injured. General Jianghu was the only one left. He barely managed to block a few attacks, but he was also severely injured. His aura was weak, and he was held by the throat by the Dark Ape Battle Tribe's warrior. On the side, the other 6 people from the soldiers' residence were stunned. They stared at the scene in disbelief. General Jianghu, a Divine Lord, was in a miserable state. He was like a dead dog with his throat gripped. His life was in the hands of someone else. What terrifying strength! They exclaimed in admiration. Their hearts were shaken endlessly, and they found it hard to calm down. The strength of Lu Ming's subordinates truly shocked them. Die! The second-level Divine Lord Dark Ape Battle Tribe member roared, revealing his murderous intent. General Jianghu was scared out of his wits. He used all his strength to shout, "Spare me, spare me!" Lu Ming waved his hand slightly and the Dark Ape Battle Tribe member stopped. "I can spare you, but you have to swear on your life origin to be loyal to me. I don't want to repeat myself. If you don't agree, die." Lu Ming spoke in a firm tone. General Jianghu was naturally unwilling. Swearing on his life origin was equivalent to losing his freedom. However, he did not dare to speak, fearing that he would be killed as soon as he spoke. "I'll give you 3 breaths of time. 3, 2. Lu Ming began to count down. I agree. General Qianyu shouted. Under such circumstances he could only agree. There was no other way. General Qianyu immediately swore on his life origin to be loyal to Lu Ming. Then General Qianyu's subordinate also swore on his life origin to be loyal to Lu Ming. In this way, Lu Ming had subdued the Qianyu residents and the Wasteland Reclaimer residents, obtaining the experts of the two residents. All of you swear too. Afterward, Lu Ming stared at the other 6 soldiers' residences and said coldly, "We have to swear too? Lu Ming, we didn't offend you. Don't go too far." The 6 patriarchs immediately roared. "Since you know my plan, do you think you can still leave safely? If you don't swear on your life, I'll have to send you on your way," Lu Ming said coldly. "Lu Ming, I will never tell anyone about your plan," one of the residence lords said immediately. "I'm sorry, but I don't believe you. I'll give you 2 choices. 1. Swear on your life origin to be loyal to me. 2. Kill you immediately," Lu Ming said coldly. He then waved his hand. The Dark Ape Battle Tribe members flashed and surrounded the area. At the same time, the people from the Qianyu residence also surrounded the 6 residence lords. "You also have 3 breaths of time. After 3 breaths of time, kill," Lu Ming said coldly. "Lu Ming, I'm from a large family in the holy capital. How dare you touch me?" a slightly younger residence lord shouted. This person came from a large family in the great illusionary divine capital. How could he surrender so easily? "Kill?" Before that person could finish, Lu Ming gave the order. Boom. One of the Abyssal Ape Battle Clan members made his move. He punched out, and an incomparably huge fist filled the air as it shot towards the soldier's residence. "No, no, don't," the soldier from the soldier's mansion roared in terror. However, the result was already decided. He didn't have any divine lords under him. He couldn't withstand the attack of a divine lord. The fist crushed down. The residence lord and his subordinates exploded one after another. 1/3 of them died in an instant. The remaining people trembled and broke out in cold sweat. They were terrified. "Are you willing to surrender?" Lu Ming said coldly. "Yes, we're willing." The rest of the people shouted loudly, scrambling to be the first to swear. "What about you?" Lu Ming looked at the remaining 5 residence lords. "We're willing too." The 5 residence lords didn't dare to disagree and nodded quickly. The fate of the soldier's residence was right in front of him. Lu Ming was too decisive. If he did not agree, he would kill him regardless of the other party's identity. After everyone had sworn, Lu Ming smiled. This force was completely under his control. "Let's go to the Flying Joy Galaxy and set up a trap. When the Redbeard pirate team comes, we'll retreat immediately," Lu Ming ordered. Chapter 3353. General Qianyu and the rest were puzzled as to why Lu Ming would do that. He had allowed the Redbeard pirate team to enter the hinterland. Even though the residents of the Flowing Wind Marquee would be attacked from both sides, Lu Ming would have to bear the consequences and be punished if news of this were to spread to the holy capital. Unless Lu Ming could really wipe out the 4 pirate groups, but did Lu Ming have such strength? Despite their doubts, they could only listen to him obediently. Then they began to make arrangements. After they were done, they waited quietly. They didn't have to wait for too long. In the depths of the starry sky, more than a dozen huge interstellar battleships flew towards them. Each battleship was extremely huge, spanning hundreds of thousands of miles. The largest battleship was even 1,000,000 miles long, like a small planet. The Redbeard pirates were here. "Kill?" When the battleships approached the Flying Joy Galaxy, a loud roar came from the battleships. Countless figures flew out of the battleships and rushed towards the Flying Joy Galaxy. "Retreat!" Lu Ming ordered and retreated far away with his subordinates. In the command room of the largest battleship, a group of people could see what was happening outside through the screen in front of the battleship. The person standing at the front was a bearded man, but his beard was red and there was a horn on his head. This person was the leader of the Redbeard pirates, known as Redbeard. Why did the Taishu dynasty retreat? Someone was puzzled. Redbeard frowned. He originally thought that there would be a fierce battle to take over the Flying Joy Galaxy, but he didn't expect the Taishu dynasty to retreat without any resistance. "Leader, what should we do now?" someone asked Redbeard. The Taishu dynasty is divided into different clans in the Heavenly Chaos Starfield. These clans are always suspicious of each other. They can't be united, so it's normal that they didn't try their best to defend. Don't worry about them. Send someone to guard the Flying Joy Galaxy. We'll go through the teleportation formation above and kill our way to the hinterland. Redbeard was very smart and immediately saw through the trick. "Yes." The subordinates responded. Next, the Redbeard pirates sent a dozen battleships and a group of experts to guard the Flying Joy system. Redbeard himself led a group of experts to the center of the Heaven Chaos starfield through teleportation formations. Drifting Cloud Galaxy was located at the border of the Wind Marquee Mansion. During this period of time, this galaxy had become a battlefield. The 100 Beast Pirate Group and the Beag Pirate Group joined forces to attack the Drifting Cloud Star River. Marquis Flowing Wind personally led the army to fight against the two pirate groups. During this period of time, the two forces were locked in battle, and it was extremely bitter. Boom. Boom. In the vast starry sky, divine light flashed and collided continuously. Both sides had sent out huge battleships that were hundreds of thousands of kilometers long, or even millions of kilometers long. They constantly shot out beams of light across the starry sky to bombard the other side. The attacks from such battleships were extremely shocking. At the same time, countless figures were fighting in the starry sky, and people were dying constantly. Both sides threw in millions of troops and fought each other. There were casualties at every moment, and blood splattered across the starry sky. The Flowing Wind Marquis was sitting on a huge chariot, watching the battle with a gloomy face. During this period of time, the Flowing Wind Marquee Mansion had suffered a great loss, which made him feel heartache. Fortunately, the Flowing Wind Marquee Mansion had the upper hand overall. Divine Monarchs, end the battle quickly. We must defeat the other party as soon as possible. The Flowing Wind Marquee ordered. He did not have much time left. There were 4 pirate groups on the other side. Although the other 2 pirate groups were blocked by his men, he knew that they could not hold on for long, especially in the Flying Joy Galaxy. He estimated that Lu Ming and the others could only hold on for a few days at most. He had to defeat the 100 Beast Pirate Group and the Beag Pirate Group within these few days. Yes. Someone around the Flowing Wind Marquee responded. Then 5 to 6 figures rushed towards the battlefield at an extremely fast speed. They were all Divine Monarchs. The Divine Monarchs have taken action. You guys go and stop them. On the other side was the alliance of the 100 Beast Pirate Group and the Beag Pirate Group. At this moment, a burly figure who was dozens of meters tall spoke. He was the leader of the 100 Beast Pirate Group. Kill? Instantly, the Divine Monarchs from the Pirate Group rushed out and fought with the Divine Monarchs of the Flowing Wind Marquee Mansion. The battle between the Divine Monarchs opened up another battlefield. As the power was too terrifying, it would drag others into it. Boom. Boom. A total of more than 10 Divine Monarchs clashed with each other. Every time they clashed, the starry sky would tremble and the surrounding meteorites would explode. A saber light flashed and a giant meteorite with a diameter of more than 100 million miles was split in half by the saber light. The broken part was neat and smooth. Then, a fist energy pierced through the void and blasted half of a giant planet. The battle between Divine Monarchs was too terrifying. If the planet did not have any defensive array, it would have exploded. It was not just a rumor that Divine Monarchs had the power to destroy planets. The battle went on for more than 100 rounds. In the end, the Flowing Wind Marquee Mansion gained the upper hand. Humph, Beag, it seems like we have to do it ourselves. The 100 Beast Pirate Group looked at Beag, the leader of the Beag Pirate Group. The leader of the Beag Pirate Group was a fat lady. She laughed weirdly and said, "All right, then let's do it ourselves. I want to test my strength." Then she stepped out and the void trembled. At the same time, the 100 Beast Pirate Group stepped out and roared like wild beasts. Their roars shook the starry sky. Marquis, the 100 Beast Pirate Group and Beag are going to do it themselves. What should we do? Someone from the Flowing Wind Marquee Mansion asked with a pale face. The 100 Beast Pirate Group and Beag were notorious in the Heavenly Chaos Star Zone. They had killed many experts of the Taishu dynasty. When the two of them were mentioned, many people's faces would change. What are you afraid of? Today I'll take their heads. The Flowing Wind Marquee snorted and stood up from the chariot. A terrifying aura spread out. Rumble. The chariot started and pulled the Flowing Wind Marquee toward the 100 Beast Pirate Group and Beag. Flowing Wind Tiger, you're finally going to do it yourself. I've wanted to meet you for a long time. Let's see what you're capable of. 100 Beast Rend kill? The 100 Beast Pirate Group roared and a divine light burst out from their bodies. Then the divine light turned into giant wild beasts. All kinds of wild beasts had huge bodies and terrifying auras. They roared and charged toward the Flowing Wind Tiger. Child's play. The Flowing Wind Tiger shouted. He stood on the chariot and did not move. A tiger-headed saber appeared in his hand and he slashed out. Saber radiance burst out and filled the sky with pale saber radiance. It slashed toward the thousands of wild beasts. Chapter 3354. Flowing Wind Marquis swung his saber and thousands of saber lights slashed at the wild beasts. Peng peng peng, as the saber lights slashed, the wild beasts were slashed apart one by one. At this moment, Biggie also made her move. Although she was fat, she had boundless strength. She punched out and a fist force pierced through the starry sky towards Flowing Wind Marquis. Even the war chariot was engulfed by the fist force. She wanted to smash Flowing Wind Marquis and his war chariot into pieces. If this fist force landed on a planet with life, it would be able to blow it up. However, Flowing Wind Marquis slashed out with his saber and split the terrifying fist force into half. I heard that the leaders of the 4 pirate groups are all at the peak of the second layer Divine Lord realm. Today I see that it's true. Since that's the case, I'll send you to hell. Flowing Wind Marquis said coldly with a ferocious look in his eyes. Then he stepped out of the war chariot. The moment he stepped out of the war chariot, an even more terrifying aura burst out from his body. Under this aura, the starry sky shook violently and was filled with a terrifying pressure. Beside him, some small meteorite fragments that were originally floating in the air had silently turned into powder at this moment. Third layer Divine Lord realm. 100 Beasts and Biggie whispered as they revealed a strong fighting spirit. If that's all you have, stay here today. Kill. Flowing Wind Marquis shouted coldly as he crossed the starry sky and charged towards 100 Beasts and Biggie. Flowing Wind Tiger, don't think that you're the only one who has reached the third layer Divine Lord realm. Today you'll be the one to die. Facing the third level Divine Lord Flowing Wind Tiger, the 100 Beasts had no fear at all. With a furious roar, its body swelled up rapidly, and thick fur grew all over its body. Finally, it turned into a giant beast that was several thousand meters tall. This was 100 Beast's true form. He was a strange giant beast that looked extremely ferocious. Brr. The giant beast roared and a terrifying aura burst out, setting off a storm in the universe. Third layer Divine Lord realm. Flowing Wind Marquis exclaimed in shock. It was said that the leaders of the 4 pirate groups were at the peak of the second layer Divine Lord realm. They were only a step away from the third layer Divine Lord realm. Who would have thought that 100 Beasts was already at the third layer Divine Lord realm? Gagaga. At this moment, Biggie let out a strange laugh. His body became even fatter and his aura rapidly rose. Soon he surpassed the limits of a second-level Divine Lord and reached another realm. Third-level Divine Lord. Biggie's cultivation had also reached third-level Divine Lord. At this moment, the Flowing Wind Marquis expression changed drastically. His face turned ghastly pale and filled with disbelief. If only one of the 100 Beasts had broken through, that would be fine. However, Biggie had also broken through. That was abnormal. Coupled with the fact that the 4 pirate groups had suddenly joined hands, Marquis Flowing Wind smelled the scent of a conspiracy. Flowing Wind Tiger, the one who will die today is you. Kill. 100 Beasts and Biggie shouted as they charged toward the Wind Marquis. Don't think that you can fight with me just because you broke through to third level Divine Lord. Let me tell you all, even in the same realm, combat power is also different. The Flowing Wind Marquis soon calmed down and spoke coldly. With the tiger-headed saber in his hand, he charged toward the 100 Beasts and Biggie. Boom. A terrifying collision erupted. The attacks of the 3 clashed together, stirring up a terrifying cosmic storm. Even the other experts in the Divine Lord realm did not dare to get too close. They kept retreating, distancing themselves from the battlefield. Tiger God Slash. Every time the Flowing Wind Marquis slashed out, a ferocious tiger roar would be heard. The power of this move was terrifying. It was a terrifying secret skill. After a dozen moves, the Flowing Wind Marquis became more and more courageous. He actually managed to suppress the 100 Beasts and Biggie by himself. A long time ago, the Flowing Wind Tiger was the genius of the Great Void Imperial Family Saint Academy. He was qualified to establish his own family. After establishing his family in the Heavenly Chaos Star area, his strength continued to expand. He established the Marquis Mansion on his own. Naturally, he was powerful. The Marquis is invincible. The people of the Flowing Wind Marquis Mansion shouted excitedly. On the other hand, the people of the pirate group looked pale. It seemed that the Flowing Wind Marquis Mansion was about to win. However, at this moment, something strange happened. Kill. Suddenly, a deafening battle cry came from another direction. A large army came from that direction and charged toward the army of the Flowing Wind Marquis Mansion. The leader of the army was a red-bearded man. This army was the Red-Beard Pirate Group. The Red-Beard Pirate Group? How is this possible? What's going on? Why is the Red-Beard Pirate Group here? The Flowing Wind Marquis Mansion was in chaos. They did not expect that a large army would suddenly appear behind them. Moreover, it was the powerful Redbeard pirate group. Therefore, when the Redbeard pirate group arrived, they were in a hurry and did not have time to set up a defensive array. In a moment, blood splattered everywhere. A large number of people of the Flowing Wind Marquee Mansion were killed. Kill all the bastards of the Flowing Wind Marquee Mansion. Kill them all. The people of the Redbeard pirate group shouted excitedly. They waved their weapons and charged toward the people of the Flowing Wind Marquee Mansion. On the other side, the people of the 100 Beasts pirate group and Biggie pirate group were excited when they saw the Redbeard pirate group. They attacked the people of the Flowing Wind Marquee Mansion together with the Redbeard pirate group. The people of the Flowing Wind Marquee Mansion had the upper hand. However, they were at a disadvantage now. They were in a passive position and many experts were killed. The leader of the Redbeard pirate group, Redbeard, was extremely powerful. He had reached the 3rd level of the Divine Lord realm. He held a huge sword in his hand. Every time he slashed out, a large number of experts would be killed. In the end, he reached the battlefield of the Divine Lords and killed a Divine Lord of the Flowing Wind Marquee Mansion. Ah, damn it. The Flowing Wind Marquee roared in his heart. He was furious. Trash. A bunch of trash. Those bastards are all trash. The Flowing Wind Marquee roared. He was naturally scolding Lu Ming and the others. According to his plan, Lu Ming and the others would go to the Flying Joy Galaxy in advance and set up an array there. If they fought to the death, they would be able to hold off the Redbeard pirate group for a few days. He could use these few days to defeat the 100 Beasts pirate group and the Biggie pirate group before dealing with the other pirate groups one by one. However, the Redbeard pirate group had arrived so quickly. There was no way to resist them. Haha, Flowing Wind Tiger, it seems like you are the one who will lose today. The 100 Beasts pirate group laughed. You want to defeat me? Don't even think about it. You are the ones who will die today. The Flowing Wind Tiger roared. The aura on his body became even more terrifying. He used his trump card and launched a crazy attack. For a moment, the 100 Beasts pirate group and the Biggie pirate group were forced to retreat. They were no match for the Flowing Wind Tiger. The 100 Beasts pirate group was careless. The tiger head saber swept across his body and a huge wound appeared. Blood flowed out and the 100 Beasts pirate group cried out in pain. Chapter 3355. Redbeard, come and help us. Let's get rid of the Flowing Wind Tiger first. Bai Shou shouted. The two of you are useless. Even with the two of you working together, you are still no match for the Flowing Wind Tiger. Redbeard sneered, but he still charged at the Flowing Wind Tiger. Swoosh. Redbeard slashed out with his sword. The giant sword flew across the sky and slashed at the Flowing Wind Tiger. Clang. The Flowing Wind Tiger blocked the attack with his saber. As the saber and sword clashed, a terrifying sound wave burst out. Saber radiance and sword chi covered a large area of the starry sky. They are all 3rd level Divine Lords. What is going on? The Flowing Wind Tiger was shocked. First it was Bai Shou, Biggie and now Redbeard. It was unbelievable that they had all reached the 3rd level Divine Lord realm. Could it be that the three of them had obtained some kind of supreme secret treasure at the same time? Go to hell, Flowing Wind Tiger. Kill. Bai Shou, Biggie and Redbeard roared and charged at the Flowing Wind Tiger. You guys are not enough. The Flowing Wind Tiger roared and waved his saber. To be honest, the Flowing Wind Tiger was indeed powerful. He was able to withstand the attacks of the 3 experts. For a moment it was hard to tell who had the upper hand. However, the Flowing Wind Tiger was able to withstand the attacks, but his subordinates were unable to do so. Facing the attacks of the 3 pirate groups, the Flowing Wind Marquee Mansion's men were forced to retreat. Damn it. Seeing this, the Flowing Wind Marquee was anxious and his heart was bleeding. He had accumulated these subordinates over a long period of time. He wanted to use them as a foundation to attack the Heavenly King Mansion in the future. Every death in battle was a great loss, not to mention the continuous deaths of so many people. Damn Lu Ming, damn Meteor Mansion, a bunch of trash. The Flowing Wind Tiger roared in his heart and blamed everything on Lu Ming and the others. Haha, Flowing Wind Tiger, aren't you in a hurry? Your subordinates are going to die soon. But don't worry, we will send them down to accompany them soon. Redbeard laughed and provoked the Flowing Wind Tiger, but his attacks became more violent. In the blink of an eye, the two sides had exchanged a few hundred moves. Don't think that you can kill me. Die, die. The Flowing Wind Tiger's eyes turned red and his body emitted a terrifying radiance. Blood Tiger art, blood massacre the world. The Flowing Wind Tiger roared. At this moment, his entire body was emitting a dazzling blood-red light, especially the tiger-headed battle saber in his hand. It was a strange and dazzling red. Clang. The saber slashed out and collided with Redbeard's battle sword. Redbeard's body shook violently and was sent flying. "Be careful, this guy is going all out," Redbeard exclaimed. "If you force me to use the Blood Tiger art, you will die." The Flowing Wind Tiger roared. The Blood Tiger art was a desperate secret art that the Flowing Wind Tiger controlled. It wouldn't be used unless it was absolutely necessary because the aftereffects were severe. After using it, one's vitality would be greatly damaged, and it would take a long time and a large amount of natural treasures to recover. He would only use it when his life was on the line. Now was the time to go all out. Displaying the Blood Tiger art, the Flowing Wind Tiger's strength skyrocketed. After repelling Redbeard, he changed direction and charged towards 100 Beasts. The blood-red saber light illuminated the starry sky. 100 Beasts was shocked and quickly retreated, but it was too late. One of his legs was cut off by the saber light and was sent flying far away. Then the Flowing Wind Tiger charged towards Biggie. Biggie was no match for it and retreated with injuries. In the blink of an eye, the Flowing Wind Tiger had repelled and injured 3 powerhouses. "Work together, don't split up." Redbeard roared and came to 100 Beasts and Biggie's side. The 3 of them gathered together and fought the Flowing Wind Tiger together. However, the Flowing Wind Tiger was too strong in this state. Even if the 3 of them gathered together, they were still no match for it. They were forced into a disadvantageous position and kept retreating. Not long after, the 3 of them were injured. "Retreat first, don't fight with him first. He used some kind of secret art and there will definitely be side effects. Let's avoid him for the time being and come back later." Redbeard transmitted his voice to 100 Beasts and Biggie. "Okay, let's retreat first." 100 Beasts and Biggie nodded. It was unwise to fight the Flowing Wind Tiger to the death now. It was better to avoid him for the time being and come back after the Flowing Wind Tiger's secret art was over. Clang clang clang, they secretly transmitted their voice to their subordinates. Suddenly, the 3 pirate groups heard the sound of bells ringing. It was the signal to retreat. The 3 pirate groups gathered together and retreated. The forces of the Flowing Wind Marquis Mansion were at a disadvantage and did not dare to chase after them. 100 Beasts, Biggie and Redbeard worked together to block a few of the Flowing Wind Tiger's attacks and retreated. The Flowing Wind Tiger wanted to chase after them, but he did not dare to do so. There was a time limit for the Blood Tiger art. If he chased after them and could not kill them after the time was up, he would be the one to die. He was not confident and did not chase after them. He could only watch the 3 pirate groups disappear into the starry sky. "Count the casualties," the Flowing Wind Tiger roared. Soon, the number of casualties was out and the Flowing Wind Tiger's eyes turned red. The Flowing Wind Marquis Mansion had suffered a great loss this time. They had lost 2 divine emperors, not to mention the divine kings. The loss was even more shocking. The Flowing Wind Marquis Mansion had suffered a great loss this time. It would take many years for them to recover. Isn't there someone secretly monitoring the Flying Joy Galaxy? Call them back. I want to know what happened in the Flying Joy Galaxy. The Flowing Wind Tiger roared. Not long after, a few people hurried over. These people were sent by the Flowing Wind Tiger to monitor Lu Ming and the others in the Flying Joy Galaxy. In the Flying Joy Galaxy, Lu Ming and the others had retreated and allowed the Redbeard pirate group to enter the hinterland. They were shocked and wanted to report to the Flowing Wind Tiger. However, the Redbeard pirate group was faster. They took a large teleportation formation and rushed to the Flowing Wind Marquis Mansion. The few people who were monitoring the situation rushed over. It was too late by the time the battle ended. "Speak. What happened in the Flying Joy Galaxy? Why did the Redbeard pirate group come here so quickly? Were the Hidden Dragon Mansion, Meteor Mansion and Thousand Moon Mansion destroyed?" The Flowing Wind Tiger asked with a gloomy face. "They betrayed us. The Hidden Dragon Mansion betrayed us. I don't know why, but the other manners obeyed the orders of the Hidden Dragon Mansion. They did not stop the Redbeard pirate group and retreated. They let the Redbeard pirate group in." One of the people reported. "What?" The Flowing Wind Tiger stood up and a violent aura erupted from his body. He was like a volcano filled with killing intent. "The Hidden Dragon Mansion and Lu Ming dared to betray me. They are courting death." The Flowing Wind Tiger let out a terrifying roar. His killing intent surged and his voice was extremely cold. Beside him, the others kept quiet out of fear. They did not dare to say a word. "Men, gather the people of the Hidden Dragon Mansion and Meteor Mansion. If they don't obey, kill them." Chapter 3356. The Flowing Wind Tiger understood that he had fallen into Lu Ming's trap this time. The other party did not stop the Redbeard pirate group on purpose and allowed them to enter, causing him to suffer heavy losses. His original intention was to make use of the Redbeard pirate team to get rid of Lu Ming and the rest. In order to survive, Lu Ming and the rest would definitely fight with all their might. In this way he could have the best of both worlds. On one hand he could get rid of Lu Ming and the others, and on the other hand he could delay the Redbeard pirate group for a while. He never thought that Lu Ming would be so bold to let the Redbeard pirate group in. "Lu Ming, I will make sure you die without a burial place," the Flowing Wind Tiger said ferociously. Things went beyond the Flowing Wind Tiger's expectations. Not long after, Lu Ming and the others arrived without any resistance. The Flowing Wind Tiger sat on top of a huge square, looking down at Lu Ming. Below him were the various manor lords. This time, the Flowing Wind Tiger had not only summoned Lu Ming and the others back, but also the other manor lords. His goal was to kill Lu Ming in front of the other manor lords to establish his prestige. "Lu Ming, how dare you betray the sacred dynasty and run away without a fight? What punishment do you think you deserve?" The Flowing Wind Tiger sat on top, and his cold voice sounded. His eyes were fixed on Lu Ming as if he wanted to grind Lu Ming's bones to dust. It was because of Lu Ming that he had suffered such a great loss. "What punishment?" Lu Ming sneered contemptuously. "Flowing Wind Tiger, you sent us to guard the Flying Joy Star region and resist the Redbeard pirate group. That's the same as sending us to our deaths. Do you think I'm stupid enough to die for nothing? So what if we die fighting for the sacred dynasty? You deserve to die 1,000 times for your actions." The Flowing Wind Tiger roared. "Lu Ming, why aren't you kneeling down and admitting your guilt?" Lu Fengxiao also shouted from the side. "After I destroy the 4 pirate groups, I'll naturally be able to make up for my mistakes. You don't have to worry about it." Lu Ming placed his hands behind his back and spoke indifferently, not giving Tiger any face at all. "Annihilate the 4 great pirate crews? Ahayo. What a joke. Arrogant and ignorant. This time you must be severely punished. Men, arrest Lu Ming." The Flowing Wind Tiger roared. Immediately, the 9 nether experts flew towards Lu Ming with chains in their hands. "Let's see who dares." A figure appeared in front of Lu Ming, emitting a powerful aura. It was General Jianghu. This caused the other lords to be extremely shocked. General Jianghu was actually willing to fight against the Flowing Wind Tiger for Lu Ming. Was she crazy? "Jianghu, I heard that you've already sided with Lu Ming. Haha, you're a dignified monarch god, yet you've sided with a junior. Seems like he has some ability. Then I'll take you down as well." The Flowing Wind Tiger shouted coldly and waved his hand. Immediately, several monarch god experts stepped out, wanting to suppress General Jianghu and capture Lu Ming. However, several Dark Ape fighting tribe members beside Lu Ming stepped out, blocking in front of Lu Ming like a mountain. They were naturally monarch god experts. The other lords sucked in a breath of cold air. Lu Ming actually had so many monarch god experts under him. It was really shocking. The Flowing Wind Tiger's pupils shrank, then he sneered, "So there are many experts. No wonder you can subdue Jianghu. However, you want to fight against me with just these people? Wishful thinking. Today I'll kill you with my own hands." The Flowing Wind Tiger slowly got up, and a terrifying aura bloomed from his body. A 3rd-level monarch god was too strong, much stronger than a 1st-level monarch god. He could kill an ordinary 1st-level monarch god with a wave of his hand. Although Lu Ming had a few monarch god experts under him, he did not put them in his eyes. Without an expert of the same level as him, everything was in vain. "Father, don't kill him first. Cripple him. I want him to suffer a fate worse than death." "How dare he treat me like that?" Lu Fengxiao roared, his face twisted. Back then he had been abused by Lu Ming. He wanted to make Lu Ming pay back 100-fold. "All right, I won't let him die so easily," the Flowing Wind Tiger said coldly. Then he stepped into the void and his speed was shocking. In an instant he was not far from Lu Ming, and a palm pressed down on Lu Ming. His speed was so fast that the other Divine Lord Realm Dark Ape Battle Clan members didn't even have time to react. However, even if they reacted, they would not be worried because Yuan Song was by Lu Ming's side. When the Flowing Wind Tiger's palm was about to grab Lu Ming, a big furry hand reached out from Lu Ming's side and grabbed the Flowing Wind Tiger's wrist. Then the Flowing Wind Tiger's hand could not move. No matter how much divine power the Flowing Wind Tiger released, he could not move at all. You. The Flowing Wind Tiger stared at Yuan Song, completely dumbfounded. His eyes were filled with disbelief. He was a level 3 Divine Lord and his strength was extremely strong. However, after his wrist was grabbed by Yuan Song, he could not move at all. He felt that Yuan Song's palm was like an iron hoop that was holding him tightly. What kind of strength was this? At the thought of this, his heart trembled. However, the others did not know the inside story. When they saw the flowing wind tiger frozen in place, they were curious. This is strange. Why isn't the Marquis continuing to attack? Why is he letting the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe member grab his wrist? Yeah, this is strange. Some people were discussing. Father, go and cripple that kid. Look, that kid is scared silly. At this moment, Lu Fengxiao was still shouting. The flowing wind tiger was about to cry. He turned around and roared at Lu Fengxiao, "Shut up." Lu Fengxiao's expression froze. He looked at the flowing wind tiger in a daze. He did not understand why the flowing wind tiger was shouting at him. The others had similar expressions. They were also dumbfounded. After shouting at Lu Fengxiao, the flowing wind tiger turned around and looked at Yuan Kong. He squeezed out a smile that was uglier than crying and said, "Say, Senior, misunderstood." Before the flowing wind tiger could finish his sentence, he let out a blood-curdling scream. This was because Yuan Tsong suddenly exerted force and broke the bones in his wrist. Then Yuan Tsong swung the flowing wind tiger and smashed it heavily on the ground. Boom. The ground shook violently and exploded continuously. Cracks that were tens of millions of miles long appeared on the ground like a spider web. Fortunately, this was only a resource planet and not a planet with life. Otherwise, it would cause a disaster. The flowing wind tiger let out a blood-curdling scream and was embedded in the ground. His body twitched and he vomited blood. It was a horrible sight. Silence. The scene fell into a dead silence. Everyone widened their eyes and looked at Yuan Tsong in a daze. Then they looked at the flowing wind tiger who was like a dead dog. They could not believe what they had seen. Some of them thought that they were dreaming. The flowing wind tiger, a Marquis of the Marquis Mansion and a third-level Divine Lord, was beaten up by Yuan Kong. How could this be possible? How powerful was this Yuan Tsong? At the thought of this, many people gasped. Even the master of the Meteor Mansion, General Jianghu, and the others who had surrendered to Lu Ming were dumbstruck. Chapter 3357. Previously, Lu Ming had only sent out a level 2 Divine Lord from the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe to suppress General Jianghu and the others. They had thought that a level 2 Divine Lord was the strongest among Lu Ming's subordinates. However, now that Yuan Tsong had taken action, they knew that they had underestimated Lu Ming. General Jianghu had no idea why, but he suddenly felt refreshed. Initially, he had been forced by Lu Ming to swear on his life source that he would be loyal to Lu Ming forever. He felt indignant. Now that he saw Yuan Tsong taking action, his indignance disappeared without a trace. Even Lord Flowing Wind was in such a miserable state. Wasn't it normal for him to be suppressed? Among the crowd, Lu Fengxiao was the most frightened. His eyes almost popped out of their sockets as he could not believe what had happened. His body was trembling in fear. Swoosh. At this moment, Lu Ming stepped out and walked towards Lu Fengxiao. "You. What are you trying to do?" Lu Fengxiao screamed in fear. "What am I trying to do? Of course I'm going to kill you," Lu Ming said indifferently. Lu Fengxiao hated him deeply. Even if someone like him wanted to surrender, Lu Ming would reject him. Only by killing him could he get rid of all future troubles. Lu Fengxiao was shocked. He could not help but retreat as his face turned pale. "Men, block him and protect me," Lu Fengxiao screamed. However, no one from the Lord Flowing Wind Mansion made a move. None of the remaining Divine Lords made a move as well. Yuan Tsong was too strong. He had suppressed Lord Flowing Wind with just a lift of his hand. If they were to make a move, they would definitely die. Who would be willing to save Lu Fengxiao? At the sight of this, Lu Fengxiao screamed in fright. He retreated frantically, wanting to escape. However, his speed was much slower than Lu Ming's. Lu Ming's figure flashed a few times and he caught up with Lu Fengxiao. He condensed his divine power into a long spear and pressed it down. The spear radiance was like a mountain as it pressed down on Lu Fengxiao. Lu Fengxiao could not block it at all. He was pressed to the ground by the spear radiance and vomited blood. "No, no, let us go. We're willing to surrender." At this moment, Tiger Flowing Wind roared. At the moment of life and death, he chose to surrender. He roared in his heart. He planned to surrender to Lu Ming first and stabilize Lu Ming. Then he would go to the great illusionary divine capital to seek reinforcements and get rid of Lu Ming. "Everyone else in the Marquis residence can surrender, but you and your son can't. Send him on his way first," Lu Ming coldly spoke. His long spear trembled as it pierced out. Puchi. Lu Fengxiao's forehead was pierced by the spear light, nailing him to the ground. "No!" The Flowing Wind Tiger roared furiously. The divine power in his body burned fiercely. His body revealed a trace of dazzling red. He was going all out, burning everything he had to kill Lu Ming. But, boom. When the ape stomped down, the aura that the flowing wind tiger had just released was like a punctured balloon, disappearing without a trace. He screamed miserably. His entire body emitted crackling sounds. It was unknown just how many of his bones were broken. Many people sighed. Yuan Song was too strong. No matter how much the flowing wind tiger exploded, it was useless. At this moment, the flowing wind tiger was already half dead. Get rid of him, Lu Ming ordered. Boom. As soon as his voice fell, Yuan Song threw out a punch. The ground shook violently. The flowing wind tiger's entire body exploded and turned into ashes. Many people gasped. The overlord of the heavenly Chaos Star region, a marquis of a generation, was killed just like that. In the marquis residence, some people's eyes flickered. They slowly retreated, wanting to leave this place. Did I say you can leave? Lu Ming's eyes were like lightning as he glanced at those people. Those people's bodies suddenly stiffened, not daring to move. Lu Ming, no, Mansion Master Lu, this has nothing to do with us. From the beginning to the end, it was the flowing wind tiger and his son who targeted you. A divine lord from the marquis residence said. So, you're still alive, but it doesn't mean you can leave. Lu Ming said indifferently. Then what do you want? The divine lord asked. It's simple. Swear on your life origin to be loyal to me. Lu Ming said. Swear on your life origin? Everyone's face changed drastically. That's right. I'll say it now. All of you have to swear on your life origin to be loyal to me. Those who refuse will be killed. Lu Ming said with murderous intent. A terrifying aura exploded from Yuan Song's body. It was like a vast heavenly might that shrouded the starry sky and everyone. Everyone broke out in cold sweat. They had no doubt that if they didn't agree, they would be attacked by Yuan Kong. No one would be able to survive Yuan Song's attack. They could either die or surrender. Needless to say, everyone chose to surrender. In the end, everyone swore on their life origin to be loyal to Lu Ming. In this way, all the prefectures in the heavenly Chaos Star region were under Lu Ming's control. Although Lu Ming was still in the soldier's residence, the strength and territory under his control were comparable to the marquis residence. Mansion Master, what should we do next? The 4 great pirate groups will attack soon. Someone asked. It's simple. Remove all the defenses in other places. Then spread the news that we have internal strife and the Windy Tiger is injured. Wait for the 4 pirate groups to take the bait. Lu Ming said. The plan was simple. Wait for the 4 pirate groups to join forces and kill them all at once. Yes. Everyone bowed and accepted the order. With Yuan Song around, they were very confident that the 4 pirate groups would be courting death if they attacked. Immediately, everyone began to make arrangements. Some mansion masters returned to the places they were guarding and brought the experts of the various prefectures to Lu Ming's side. The forces of the various prefectures gathered together. Then they spread the news that they had internal strife and the Windy Tiger was injured. Sure enough, when the 4 pirate groups heard the news, they all gathered together and charged toward Lu Ming's side aggressively. Nearly 100 huge battleships flew over from the starry sky in the distance, making violent roars. Nearly 100 huge battleships gave off a strong pressure. Set up the formation. Lu Ming's voice came from the crowd. Immediately, with him as the center, the people of the various prefectures worked together to set up a huge defensive formation. In one of the battleships, the leaders of the 4 pirate groups gathered and watched from afar. After seeing Lu Ming and the others set up the formation, Redbeard sneered, "Do you think you can stop us by setting up a defensive formation? How naive. Attack the battleships and break their formation." The other leaders gave their orders one after another. Buzz. Hundreds of battleships vibrated slightly and emitted bright runes. Then, beams of light burst out and blasted toward Lu Ming and the others. However, the formation that Lu Ming and the others set up with all their strength had amazing defensive power. Layers of light shields shrouded them and the beams of light were all blocked by the light shields. The light shields kept vibrating but were not broken. Chapter 3358. Continue to attack. Redbeard roared. At the same time, 100 Beasts, Biggie, and the green-haired pirates gave the order to continue the attack. Suddenly, there was an earth-shattering roar. A battleship on their right suddenly exploded like a dazzling firework. The pirates in the battleship screamed and turned into ashes in the raging fire. The leaders of the 4 major pirate groups were shocked. What's going on? Redbeard roared because the battleship that exploded was his. We're under attack. We're under attack. Someone shouted. Boom. In the next moment, another battleship exploded. Flames shot out in all directions, illuminating the starry sky as if a planet had exploded. Figures flew out of the battleship, but before they could fly far, they were turned into ashes by the destructive power. There were countless interstellar pirates in the battleship, and there was no lack of powerhouses among them. However, all of them died in a moment. In the distant starry sky, above Lu Ming's head, a large breath shadow stone was floating, recording all of this. These were all credits that he could not miss out on. Who is it? This time, it was 100 Beast's turn to roar because the battleship that exploded just now was his. Someone walked out from the flames. Someone shouted. The members of the 4 great pirate groups looked over and saw a tall and sturdy figure appear from the warship that had just exploded. It was a huge ape with a wide mouth and fangs. Its aura was violent and deep like the sea. This ape was naturally the Dark Ape fighting tribe, and it was the Grand Elder Ape Kong. Ape Tsong used the Phantom Battle Art and turned into a giant ape. He directly charged into the battleships of the 4 major pirate groups and exploded 2 battleships in a row. Fire, kill him. Redbeard roared. Some battleships turned around with runes surrounding them, ready to attack Ape Kong. However, Ape Tsong's figure flashed and disappeared from the spot. Not good. Redbeard and the others roared in their hearts. In the next moment, another battleship exploded. It was obvious that this battleship was destroyed by Ape Kong. Boom. Boom. Next, the sound of explosions continued to be heard. Battleships exploded one after another like dazzling fireworks. Not long after, more than a dozen battleships exploded. Retreat, battleships, retreat. Everyone surround and kill him. Redbeard, 100 Beasts and the others roared. Rumble. The remaining battleships quickly retreated. Then numerous figures flew out from the battleships. They wanted to surround and kill Yuan Tsong with their numbers. This time the 4 great pirate groups joining hands. Experts were as plentiful as clouds. Even Divine Lord Realm powerhouses had more than a dozen. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The rainbow light that filled the sky traversed the universe and charged toward Ape Kong. Not only that, but the leaders of the 4 pirate groups also made their moves. They flew out of their warships and charged towards Yuan Kong. Surround him. I want to grind his bones to dust. Redbeard roared. They were very confident. This time, the leaders of the 4 great pirate groups all obtained fortuitous encounters, their cultivation breaking through, all reaching 3rd level Divine Lord. They were confident that they were invincible in the heavenly chaos starfield. Seeing the densely packed figures, the ape stopped instead. Very soon, the densely packed figures surrounded Yuan Kong, attacked together and destroy him. Redbeard roared. Kill? Kill. Countless people roared and attacked. Countless dazzling lights shone and blasted towards Yuan Kong. At this moment, Yuan Tsong's figure flashed like a phantom, dodging the countless attacks and killing to the side. Suddenly, screams filled the sky and blood splattered everywhere. Large numbers of interstellar pirates were killed. Yuan Tsong was too strong. A casual punch from him would create a huge fist that crushed the numerous pirates. A casual punch could blow up a planet. For these pirates to gather together was simply courting death. Large numbers of pirates exploded continuously. The entire starfield was filled with the smell of blood. No matter what cultivation level, be it Divine King Realm or Divine Lord Realm, the result was the same. Crushed by the fist, dead. How can this be? Seeing this scene, the leaders of the 4 great pirate groups trembled non-stop. Their faces were pale and they were in disbelief. A Divine Lord Realm powerhouse was killed by a single punch without the slightest strength to resist. What kind of strength was this? Such strength was not something that they could resist. Retreat. The leaders of the 4 great pirate groups wanted to retreat. They roared and retreated frantically. But how could Yuan Tsong let them retreat? Yuan Tsong's figure flashed and disappeared from the spot. The next moment he appeared in front of the 4 leaders. Redbeard and the other 3 quickly stopped, their faces pale. Since you're here, stay. Yuan Tsong said indifferently. It's not that easy to keep us here. Let's attack together and kill him. Attack. Redbeard and the others shouted, revealing a ferocious look. Their powerful strength erupted. All of them had the cultivation level of a Divine Lord Realm. The 4 of them joined forces and attacked with their strongest move. 4 terrifying attacks blasted towards Yuan Tsong, wanting to blow him up. However, Yuan Tsong's palm was like a knife, slashing out horizontally. A jet-black divine light burst out and broke the 4's attack. Insignificant skill. Yuan Tsong said indifferently. How can this be? Above Divine Lord Realm. Redbeard and the other 3 were shocked beyond words. To be able to block their attack so easily, it was definitely not a Divine Lord Realm 3rd level, but a Divine Lord realm 4th level or even higher. Such an existence was definitely not something that they could deal with. Split up. Redbeard roared and turned into a streak of rainbow light, rushing in a direction. The other 3 did the same. The 4 of them fled in 4 different directions. As long as one of them could escape, that would be good. As for who could escape, that would depend on luck. You want to escape from my hands? How naive. Yuan Song said coldly. Then he stretched out his hand and an incomparably huge palm extended forward, grabbing at Redbeard. Its speed was extremely fast and enveloped Redbeard. Redbeard roared in horror and attacked with all his might, wanting to block it. However, it was to no avail. The palm pressed down and Redbeard screamed tragically. His body exploded and his spirit was destroyed. At the same time that he killed Redbeard, Yuan Song took a step out. In the starry sky, a huge foot suddenly appeared and stomped towards Green Hair. Green Hair also followed in Redbeard's footsteps and was trampled to death by Yuan Kong. A Divine Lord Realm 3rd level had no resistance in front of Yuan Kong. After killing 2 pirate group leaders in a row, Yuan Song did not stop. His figure flashed and appeared in front of Biggie. With a punch, Biggie died. 3 of the 4 pirate group leaders were dead in the blink of an eye. Only Bai Shou was left. I surrender, I surrender. Bai Shou was almost scared to death. He roared and planned to surrender. He knew that he would definitely not be able to escape and would be killed by Yuan Kong. You refuse to surrender. Everyone, attack and annihilate the interstellar pirates. Lu Ming said coldly with a cold gaze. Chapter 3359. Lu Ming rejected the beast's surrender. These interstellar pirates had committed all kinds of crimes. Their hands were stained with blood. None of them were innocent and deserved to be killed. Moreover, killing these pirates would give him merit points. Why would Lu Ming let them go? Lu Ming gave the order for the entire army to attack. Kill? The battle cries were like a tsunami. Lu Ming's battleships flew out one after another and attacked the pirates' battleships. Yuan Song had also made his move. With a punch, the beast's huge bodies exploded into pieces. Blood splattered across the starry sky. After killing the beasts, dense runes appeared on Yuan Song's body. It was a teleportation array. Divine Lord Realm powerhouses were all able to carve a transmission grand array on their bodies and could directly carry out transmission. With a swoosh, Yuan Song's figure disappeared. In the next moment, he appeared behind the interstellar pirates' battleships and blocked their escape route. Destroy them. Yuan Song shouted coldly and continuously punched with both fists. Huge fist prints blasted towards the battleships. Every time a fist print crushed a battleship would explode. In the blink of an eye, more than 20 battleships exploded. Yuan Song, have mercy. Only kill the pirates. Don't destroy the battleships. Lu Ming hurriedly transmitted his voice to Yuan Kong. Each of these battleships was at least a few 100,000 miles long. The bigger ones were millions of miles long. Countless materials and resources were needed to build one. It would be a pity to destroy it just like that. Lu Ming felt the pinch. If he wanted to develop in the future, these battleships would be useful. Yuan Song nodded and stopped being so violent. He only blocked the battleships and did not let them escape. After a while, Lu Ming led the army over and surrounded the battleships. Kill them. Lu Ming waved his hand and a large number of experts flew out of the battleships and charged into the enemy's battleships. They broke through the battleship's defenses and rushed in. A huge battle began inside the battleships. After being killed by Yuan Song, many experts from the 4 pirate crews died in battle. Their strength was greatly reduced. On Lu Ming's side there were many experts. There were more than 10 divine lords from the Nether Ape fighting clan that Lu Ming had brought with him. In addition to the experts from the Lufeng Marquis residence and the other generals' residences, there were more than 20 divine lords. They had completely suppressed the interstellar pirates. Among the interstellar pirates, every battleship had an intense battle. However, Lu Ming's side had the upper hand. The ape did not continue to attack. He just stood in the starry sky, his eyes like lightning as if he was scanning something. You want to leave? Come out. Suddenly Yuan Song let out a loud roar and punched out at a certain spot in the air. The void began to tremble violently as a huge explosion occurred. It was an interstellar pirate with runes all over his body. Clearly he was an interstellar pirate at the Divine Lord realm. He had wanted to activate the teleportation array on his body to escape but had been forced out by Yuan Kong. At this moment, the interstellar pirate's face was filled with terror. He spat out large mouthfuls of blood and retreated rapidly. However, in front of the ape he was as weak as a baby. Yuan Tsong's fist energy exploded and killed the Divine Lord Interstellar Pirate. After killing the Interstellar Pirate, Yuan Tsong continued to scan the surroundings. He was guarding this place to prevent the Interstellar Pirates from escaping. Soon after, Yuan Tsong attacked again. He punched the void and killed another Interstellar Pirate of the Interstellar Pirates who wanted to escape. There was no doubt about the outcome of this battle with the help of a terrifying existence like Yuan Kong. In front of such an existence, the number of people was meaningless. The outcome was already decided. The battle lasted for half a day. Half a day later, the battle between the battleships slowly came to a stop. Most of the Interstellar Pirates had been killed. Only a small number of them were still putting up a fight. However, it did not affect the overall situation. After another half a day, all the battleships calmed down. The governors and divine lords of the various prefectures came to report the news to Lu Ming. They were destroyed. The 4 interstellar pirate crews were all destroyed in this battle. The governors of the various prefectures were shocked. The 4 interstellar pirate crews had dominated the heavenly chaos starfield for countless years. No one had expected that they would all be annihilated this time. Of course, this was also because the 4 interstellar pirate crews had joined forces to attack. That was why Lu Ming had such an opportunity. In the past, the 4 interstellar pirate crews had roamed everywhere and did not have a fixed residence. Even if stronger overlords came, it would be difficult to destroy them. That was also the reason why the 4 interstellar pirate crews could survive for so long. Governor, we caught a few barbarians. At this time, a few Dark Ape Battle Tribe members came with a few burly creatures in their hands. Lu Ming had seen these creatures in the Black Jade Gold Mine before. They were the barbarians who had been fighting against the Taishu dynasty all year round. Barbarians? Lu Ming's expression changed. He was somewhat shocked. Why would the barbarians be in the interstellar pirate crews battleships? This time, the 4 interstellar pirate crews suddenly joined forces to attack the prefectures of the Taishu dynasty, and the 4 leaders' cultivation levels have broken through. Is it the barbarians behind this? Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. This was very likely. Otherwise, it would be difficult to explain all of this. This time, is it the barbarians who pushed the interstellar pirates to attack us? Lu Ming glanced at the barbarians and asked. Yes, so what if you know? Let me tell you, the Taishu dynasty will be destroyed by the barbarians sooner or later. You can wait for your death. One of the barbarians said coldly and looked at Lu Ming ferociously. Just as I thought. Lu Ming's eyes moved. What was the barbarians' purpose in doing this? Governor, what should we do with these barbarians? The Dark Ape Battle Tribe member asked. Of course we'll kill them. Lu Ming waved his hand. After killing the barbarians, they began to count the casualties on the battlefield. Although they had killed all the interstellar pirates in the battle just now, they had also suffered some casualties. However, it was still within Lu Ming's range of acceptance. The Dark Ape Battle Tribe did not suffer any losses. Most of the casualties were from the other prefectures. After tidying up, they boarded the battleship and returned to the Hidden Dragon Star. After that, Lu Ming began to merge with the other prefectures. Some of the core elites of the various prefectures were sent to the Hidden Dragon Star. Of course, they also had to send people to guard the planets that they had conquered. After this battle, Lu Ming's strength skyrocketed. More than half of the Heavenly Chaos Starfield's territory was occupied by Lu Ming. The number of elites under his command had also increased. As he consolidated the forces under his command, he sent people to the Taishu sacred capital to report this merit. 2 months later, the order from the military council was issued. Lu Ming had made a great contribution this time. He had wiped out the 4 interstellar pirates. His merit was enough to upgrade the soldier's residence to the general's residence and appoint Lu Ming as the Hidden Dragon General. After upgrading the soldier's residence to the general's residence, Lu Ming could openly recruit people. Chapter 3360. Before Lu Ming started to recruit people, he had selected a group of experts to cultivate under the primordial idol statue. As soon as these experts started cultivating, they were shocked by the effects of the primordial idol statue. After they finished cultivating, the news about the primordial idol statue naturally spread. Not only in the Heaven Chaos Starfield but also in the surrounding starfields, everyone knew that the Hidden Dragon General's residence had a primordial idol statue with mysterious effects. Cultivating under the primordial idol statue was extremely effective. When the news of the Hidden Dragon General's residence's recruitment spread, a large number of people naturally came to join them. Of course, those who came to join couldn't make others swear on their life source. That wasn't realistic. Even if the primordial idol statue attracted them, not many people would join them. Of course, those who wanted to join had to be tested by the formation set up by the Blue Merchant. This was to prevent Lu Ming's enemies from sending spies to join them. For example, the Imperial Advisor's residence and the Lan family would most likely send people to infiltrate the Hidden Dragon General's residence. With this formation they could eliminate those with ulterior motives. At the same time, Lu Ming asked his subordinates if they knew any experts and recommended them to him. In fact, in the Heaven Chaos Starfield, apart from the Mansion Masters, most of the experts who joined the mansion were independent cultivators or had small factions behind them. Naturally, these people knew many independent cultivators. After these people's introductions, many experts came to join Lu Ming. Of course, they mainly came for the primordial idol statue. It was very difficult for these independent cultivators or people from small factions to have a mysterious primordial idol statue to cultivate. When they heard that Lu Ming had a mysterious primordial idol statue, many experts were tempted. Time passed quickly and 2 years passed. In these 2 years, Lu Ming had recruited many experts. Even 7 or 8 divine emperors had joined him. In this way, apart from the Dark Ape Battle Tribe, Lu Ming had more than 20 divine emperors under his command. This was an extremely powerful force. Many powerful marquee mansions only had this number of divine emperors. This was the benefit of being promoted to a general's residence. If it was only a soldier's residence, many experts wouldn't join him. They would think that there was no future. If it was promoted to a marquee mansion with the promotion of the primordial idol statue, there would be more experts joining him. Everything went smoothly. Lu Ming's strength was increasing. These were all forces that he had developed under his control and listened to his orders. There was also another piece of good news. Wan Xin had broken through. Wan Xin's original cultivation was Peak God King. After tempering himself outside during this period of time, he directly broke through to the Divine Lord realm. Myriad God strength was already extremely terrifying to begin with. Now that he broke through to the Divine Lord realm, it was unknown just how strong his combat strength was. Qiuqiu is going to evolve too. Dragon Emperor City. In a courtyard. Lu Ming looked at a huge metal ball in front of him and revealed a smile. After annihilating the 4 major pirate groups and subduing the other prefectures, Lu Ming had too many resources under his control. During this period of time, Qiuqiu was still the happiest. He could eat all kinds of high-level divine artifacts as he pleased. Was it? Half a month later. The metal ball emitted a powerful aura. Then it wriggled and slowly shrank. Qiuqiu had successfully evolved. Its cultivation had reached the 7th level of the God King realm. I want to eat, I want to eat. Qiuqiu's mouth opened and closed as it stared at Lu Ming. You'll eat me until I'm poor. Lu Ming jokingly scolded. Then he waved his hand and a large pile of divine artifacts flew toward Qiuqiu. They were all superior 7th level divine artifacts and above. Qiuqiu immediately stretched out its tentacles and grabbed these divine artifacts. It began to chew on them with relish. Take your time eating. I'm going to cultivate. Lu Ming smiled and then went to cultivate under the primordial idol statue. Many figures sat cross-legged around the primordial idol statue, comprehending. Of course, not everyone could cultivate under the primordial idol statue. Lu Ming had set a rule. Only those who had accumulated a certain amount of merit could cultivate here. There was also a time limit. This was to let the subordinates work. Otherwise, what was the point of Lu Ming recruiting these people if they cultivated here every day and did not work? Time passed quickly. A few more years passed. My Overlord Spear Force has reached the peak of the Second Awakening. Unfortunately, I still can't break through. Lu Ming ended his cultivation and frowned in contemplation. The primordial idol statue's effect was indeed amazing. Lu Ming had improved rapidly over the years, but he had not made any major breakthroughs. For example, he had awakened a new origin secret art or increased the number of awakenings of his origin divine power factor. Currently, only the sovereign divine power had awakened 3 times among the 11 divine powers. The other 10 were still at the Second Awakening. However, the Overlord Spear Force had reached the limit of the Second Awakening. It was too difficult to break through the Third Awakening. Lu Ming had not made any breakthroughs. Looks like I need to find an opportunity to train. Lu Ming fell into deep thought. Ever since he came to the Heavenly Chaos Star region, Lu Ming rarely made a move himself. He had always left it to his subordinates. If he did not make a move, he would not be able to train himself. He would not be able to get any stimulation in his cultivation. Lu Ming was the kind of person who preferred killing and honing himself. Only through killing and honing himself could his potential be unleashed completely. Cultivating peacefully and steadily was not suitable for him. He planned to cultivate for a while longer. If the Overlord's spear force still could not break through, he would go out to train himself. However, a few days later, a piece of news came that shocked many people. Not long ago, the barbarian tribe suddenly launched a large-scale attack on the borders of the Taishu dynasty. This time, the barbarian tribe had gathered a large amount of military power and launched an attack with overwhelming force. The Taishu Holy Dynasty was forced to retreat. In just half a month, the barbarian tribe had conquered an entire galaxy. Moreover, the attack did not stop. This shocked the upper echelons of the Taishu dynasty. At the borders of the Taishu dynasty, the major legions were on high alert and temporarily blocked the barbarian tribe's attack. At the same time, the Grand Council issued an order to gather all the forces at the border of the star regions to the battlefield and fight the barbarian tribe together. The Heavenly Chaos Star region was a star region at the border of the Taishu dynasty and the barbarian tribe. Naturally, it was also summoned. The Grand Council issued an order for Lu Ming to send a large army to report to the 8th barbarian tribe. Battlefield? Perfect. Lu Ming whispered, his eyes bright. He was planning to go out to train himself. Now that he was going to the battlefield, it was exactly what Lu Ming wanted. Not long after, Lu Ming led a group of people to the 8th barbarian tribe. This time, Lu Ming brought along more than 10 Divine Lord Realm experts. As for Divine King Realm experts, there were a total of 5,000 people. In addition, Wan Shen and Blue Merchant followed Lu Ming. Autumn Moon stayed on the Hidden Dragon Star to cultivate in peace. Autumn Moon received the inheritance of the Divine Eye Lord of Heaven. She was the opposite of Lu Ming. She did not need to train. As long as she cultivated in peace, she could continue to break through. Chapter 3361. This time, Lu Ming did not bring Yuan Song with him. Yuan Song was too strong. If he brought him along, he would attract the attention of others, especially the Imperial Advisor's residence and the Crown Prince. Besides, if he brought Yuan Song with him, Lu Ming would not be able to train himself. The border between the Taishu dynasty and the barbarian race had been warring all year round. Therefore, the Taishu dynasty had set up a large army here. There were a total of 13 armies, known as the 13 Barbarian Annihilation Armies. Lu Ming was going to the 8th Barbarian Annihilation Army. How spectacular! When they arrived at the headquarters of the 8th Barbarian Annihilation Army, Lu Ming was stunned. In the starry sky, there were many huge warships floating in the air. There was no end in sight. No one knew how many warships there were. Most importantly, these warships were too huge. In the Wind Marquis residence or the 4 pirate groups, the largest warship was 1,000,000 miles long. However, there were no such warships here. The smallest warship was a few million miles long. There were even warships that were a few 100,000,000 miles long. Those warships that were a few million miles long were like ants in front of an elephant. They could not be compared at all. Some of the largest warships were as big as some small planets. Countless of these warships were floating in the starry sky, forming a terrifying aura. Those who were not mentally strong would be suppressed by this aura from afar. They would not even be able to use 20% of their strength. This must be the 8th Barbarian Annihilation Army. How terrifying! Lu Ming exclaimed in his heart. Compared to the 8th Barbarian Extermination Army, the army under his control was like a candle flame compared to the bright moon. The difference was too great. It was unknown how many experts there were in this army. This was only the 8th Barbarian Annihilation Army. There were 13 such armies at the border between the Taishu dynasty and the barbarian race. One could imagine how terrifying the strength of the Taishu dynasty was. You are from the Hidden Dragon residence, right? Follow me. At this moment, a group of armored soldiers flew over. Lu Ming nodded and followed the armored soldiers to a warship that was a few million miles long. He arranged a place for them to stay. You can rest here first. If there is a mission, someone will inform you. The leader of the armored soldiers said. Many thanks. Lu Ming cupped his fist. The armored soldier nodded and left. Next, they stayed here and waited quietly. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed. On this day, a soldier from the Iron Army came to inform Lu Ming that he had a mission. Lu Ming followed the soldier to a grand hall on a battleship that was over 100 million miles long. Tables and chairs were placed on both sides of the hall. At this moment, it was already full of people. At the top of the hall sat a burly man in iron armor. He was tall and sturdy, and in the middle of his head, there was a pitch-black horn. Almost everyone is here. Let me introduce myself. My name is Shi Huang, and I'm currently the right-wing general of the 8th Barbarian Extermination Army. The burly man introduced himself. Everyone was startled. The general of the right wing of the 8th Barbarian Extermination Army was an incredible position. He could be said to be the top figure of the 8th Barbarian Extermination Army. His strength was unfathomable. "Greetings, General." The people in the 2 rows of seats stood up and cupped their fists in salute. "There's no need to stand on ceremony, please take a seat." Shi Huang raised his hand and everyone sat down. "Everyone here is the governor of the various prefectures that have been gathered this time. This time, I hope that you will cooperate with the 8th Barbarian Extermination Army." Shi Huang said. "Of course. Rest assured, General." Everyone spoke one after another. Normally, the major prefectures at the border would send people to join the army and fight against the barbarian race. Not only could they train themselves, but they could also accumulate merits, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Therefore no one would refuse. This time, the various prefectures also agreed to this gathering. Okay, now let's talk about the mission. Speaking of this, Shi Huang took out a jade talisman. The jade talisman shone, and a huge pattern floated in the air. The pattern was a starry sky. Huge battleships appeared in the starry sky. The shape of these battleships was somewhat different from the battleships of the Taishu dynasty. There were patterns of savage beasts carved on them. "Barbarian race battleships," someone said. "Yes, you should already know that these are the barbarian race battleships. Some time ago the barbarian race suddenly launched an attack. We were a little caught off guard and were forced to retreat. The barbarian race battleships have already occupied 1 star sector. This fleet of barbarian race battleships is heading to another star sector, preparing to attack. Our next mission is to destroy this fleet of barbarian race battleships." Shi Huang said. "Is it that kind of formation?" At this time Lu Ming thought to himself. The Taishu dynasty had probably set up a large number of formations in the starry sky at the border of the universe that could project images of the starry sky. It was just like the array that Lan Shang had set up previously. The few killers who wanted to kill Lu Ming had been discovered in advance. Obviously, the Taishu dynasty had also set up this kind of formation in the starry sky. Otherwise the starry sky was too vast. How could they monitor the other party's movements? They relied on this kind of formation. This fleet of barbarian race battleships is still half a month away from the next star sector. You set off today. I will send an army to support you. You must complete the mission." Shi Huang said. "General, don't worry. We will destroy this fleet of barbarian race battleships." An old man said. This old man was a marquis of the Marquis Mansion and was very powerful. "Okay, then go back and prepare. We will set off in 3 hours." Shi Huang said. Lu Ming and the others got up and went back to prepare. 3 hours later, in the starry sky outside the battleships, Lu Ming led his subordinates and gathered with the armies of the various mansions. "There is a wormhole here. We can get there as soon as possible. Let's go." Shi Huang also sent an army to meet them. The people of the various mansions followed the army and came to a wormhole. Through the wormhole they reached their destination very quickly. In just 2 days they arrived at the Devil Void Star Zone. The Devil Void Star Zone was the star zone that the barbarian race would attack next. Then they came to the border of the Devil Void Star Zone and lurked on a planet, waiting for the arrival of the barbarian race battleships. More than 10 days later. Rumble. In front of them, a fleet of barbarian race battleships sailed over. The battleships of the barbarian race were also very large. The smallest one was millions of miles long. There were dozens of battleships sailing over. Kill. With a loud roar, Lu Ming and the others rushed out and rushed toward the barbarian race battleships. "People of the Taishu dynasty, kill them. Attack." As soon as Lu Ming and the others attacked, the barbarian race battleships discovered them. The battleships lit up and then beams of terrifying light blasted toward them. These beams of light were very powerful. Even ordinary divine emperors would be in danger if they were hit. "Dodge!" Lu Ming and the others shouted. Their bodies flashed and changed directions constantly to avoid the attacks of the beams of light. Chapter 3362. Although the battleship's attacks were powerful, the battleship itself was too large. It was naturally not agile and would be easily dodged. Lu Ming and company moved forward in a snake-like manner, constantly changing their positions to avoid the battleship's attacks. They were spread out and each team had their eyes on a different warship. Not long after, Lu Ming and Wan Shen, as well as some of his experts, rushed to the vicinity of a battleship that was tens of millions of miles long. Gotcha. When Lu Ming and company approached the battleship, many doors on the battleship opened and the figures of the barbarian tribe appeared. "Kill them." The barbarian tribe roared and charged towards Lu Ming and company. "Kill." Lu Ming shouted and took the lead, charging towards the barbarian tribe. Qiuqiu transformed into a suit of armor that covered his body, making him even stronger. He threw out a punch, sending out bolts of lightning. Immediately, 2 barbarian tribe members were struck by lightning and turned into charcoal. Trash of the Taishu dynasty, die. A 3-meter-tall, burly, hairy barbarian tribe member stared at Lu Ming and charged towards Lu Ming with a battle axe in hand. The battle axe slashed out, causing the void to tremble. The huge battle axe slashed towards Lu Ming with terrifying power. It was a Sir God. The Sir Gods of the barbarian tribe were terrifyingly strong and extremely belligerent. However, the Dark Ape fighting tribe members were even more belligerent. Beside him, an expert from the Dark Ape fighting tribe wielded a metal rod and charged forward, clashing with the Sir God of the barbarian tribe. At the same time, a figure flashed beside Lu Ming. It was Wan Xin. He was extremely fast and charged at the front, charging towards a large door. Kill him. At least a dozen barbarian tribe warriors blocked Wan Xin's path and attacked him with all sorts of attacks. However, Wan Xin's stone spear trembled and the attacks were instantly destroyed. The stone spear did not stop and crushed the barbarians. Your opponent is me. A Sir God of the barbarian tribe roared when he saw this scene and charged towards Wan Xin. Die. Wan Xin said indifferently. The stone spear pierced through the air and stabbed towards the Sir God of the barbarian tribe. Poof. The Sir God of the barbarian tribe wanted to attack, but his attack was instantly countered. The barbarian tribe members were shocked. The other barbarians were shocked. A divine lord had been killed in an instant. It was too terrifying. Impressive. Lu Ming sighed. But Sir God of the barbarian tribe of the same rank Sir God of the barbarian tribe. The barbarian tribe members of the barbarian tribe were killed barbarian tribe warriors, and killed barbarian god of the tribe. Killed barbarian tribe. Soon he arrived at the gate. Barbarian god of barbarian tribe. Barbarian. This time he had brought more than a dozen Sir Gods with him. Their strength was comparable to some of the marquee manors. Among the manors that had come, their strength was considered superior. Our barbarian. As a ass. Barbarian. As a result, there's barbarian as they entered. They killed their way in, leaving behind a large number of barbarian tribe warriors' corpses. In the end, the barbarian tribe members did not dare to resist and retreated. They gathered all the barbarian tribe members on the barbarian tribe battleship and prepared to fight Lu Ming. The other barbarian tribe battleships were also attacked. Dozens of barbarian tribe battleships were engaged in fierce battles. Lu Ming and the rest killed their way in and came to the control room of the barbarian tribe battleship. It was a huge hall that was tens of thousands of miles wide. All the barbarian tribe members were gathered here. Lu Ming and the rest were attacked as soon as they arrived. Kill them all. The barbarian tribe members roared and charged towards Lu Ming and the rest. There were tens of thousands of them, 10 times the number of Lu Ming and the rest. However, Lu Ming and the rest were not afraid and charged forward. The Sir God realm experts charged to the front and fought with the barbarian Sir Gods. The Divine King realm experts fought with each other. Sir God against Sir God and Divine King against Divine King. There were 2 battlefields. Long River of Spear Dao. Lu Ming shouted and swung the Overlord Spear. A long river of Spear Dao appeared and shrouded a group of barbarian tribe members. The barbarian tribe members screamed as their bodies were pierced by the spear radiance and died on the spot. In an instant, dozens of barbarian tribe members were killed by Lu Ming. Courting death. A burly barbarian tribe member charged towards Lu Ming with a saber in his hand. With a slash of his saber, the void trembled like water ripples. He was a peak Divine King. Combat Ancestor. At the side, a powerful figure from the Nether Ape fighting clan exclaimed in shock. He wanted to rush over to help Lu Ming. I can deal with your own enemies. Lu Ming shouted and swung the Overlord Spear. He activated the battle character art and quadrupled his combat strength to meet the attack. Boom. The 2 attacks collided. Lu Ming's body shook violently and he stepped back a few steps in the void. The barbarian tribe members were extremely strong and they usually had the upper hand in a battle of the same level. Kid, die for me. The peak Divine King of the barbarian tribe roared and waved his saber. He launched a torrential attack to kill Lu Ming. Lu Ming was fearless and met the attack head-on. He executed the Overlord Spear art to the extreme and fought fiercely with his opponent. Of course, Lu Ming did not use his full strength. He did not use any of his origin source secret techniques. Lu Ming's goal was to use his opponent to train himself and train the Overlord Spear art. Moreover, Qiuqiu turned into armor and wrapped Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming did not need to worry about his own defense. He only needed to attack with all his might. The two fought fiercely and the battle was extremely intense. In the blink of an eye they had exchanged dozens of blows. Yes, that's it. Lu Ming became more and more courageous as he fought. His fighting spirit grew stronger and stronger. He felt that the blood in his body was about to boil. Lu Ming would only have this feeling in a great battle. In this feeling, Lu Ming's comprehension of various divine skills and secret techniques would increase rapidly. Almost there, almost there. Lu Ming had a feeling that the Overlord Spear art was about to break through. He was only one step away. However, at this moment, another Divine King Realm expert attacked Lu Ming. The two barbarian race experts joined hands to kill Lu Ming. Lu Ming's strength was too strong. He was only in the 5th Divine King Realm, but he already had such fighting strength. Without a doubt, he was a peerless genius. The Taishu dynasty had such a genius, and it was a great disaster for the barbarian race. Of course they had to get rid of him. Then I will kill you. There was a cold glint in Lu Ming's eyes and densely packed lightning was emitted from his body. It was Qiuqiu's lightning. The lightning gathered towards the Overlord's spear. As Lu Ming thrust his spear, the lightning burst out and enveloped the two barbarian race experts. At the same time, Lu Ming's eyes turned into two vortexes. It was the yin-yang godly pupils. Endless runes turned into terrifying threads and covered the two barbarian race experts. The two barbarian race experts roared and tried their best to resist. However, their bodies were still trembling. Chapter 3363. Now that Qiuqiu had reached the 7th King God realm, the lightning was even more terrifying. Even a peak God King would feel numb if he was hit by it. Gate of Domination. Lu Ming took advantage of the opportunity and used the Gate of Domination to attack one of the barbarians. As for himself, he became one with his spear and turned into a dazzling spear light, attacking the other barbarian. The spear light pierced through the barbarian's defense. The barbarian roared and tried to dodge, but he was too slow. The spear light pierced through his chest, creating a big hole. Then Lu Ming's left hand slashed out like a blade. Lu Ming unleashed the heavenly fiend golden body and his palms were harder than the divine saber. As his palms slashed out, blood spurted out and the barbarian's head flew up. A peak god king barbarian had fallen. On the other side, the Gate of Domination pressed down on the barbarian, making him dizzy and seeing stars. Lu Ming dashed out and tore with both hands, killing the barbarian. Many people around were shocked. The Dark Ape fighting tribe was not so bad. After all, many people knew that Lu Ming was talented and had unparalleled fighting strength. Those who had just joined Lu Ming were the most shocked. Before this they had never seen Lu Ming fight. They only knew that Lu Ming had a group of powerful Dark Ape fighting tribe behind him. Now that they saw Lu Ming fight, they were 10 times more shocked than when they saw the Dark Ape fighting tribe. Because he was too strong. A 5th King God Realm cultivator could kill a peak God King. They had never heard of such a thing. Joining him might be the best decision I've made in my life. Many people could not help but have such a thought. Damn it, kill him. The barbarians were also shocked. They roared and attacked Lu Ming. Your opponent is me. Kill. The Dark Ape fighting tribe and Lu Ming's subordinates roared and blocked the barbarians. Although the number of people that Lu Ming brought with him this time was smaller, they were all elites with high cultivation levels. Although they had fewer people, their overall fighting strength was not weaker than the barbarians. The two sides were locked in a fierce battle. Kill. It was as if Lu Ming had entered a no-man's land, constantly charging and killing. He had Qiuqiu to protect him, so he didn't care about his own defense at all. He only needed to charge and attack with all his might. Every time he charged forward, a few barbarians would be killed by him. Besides the peak of the King God Realm, the barbarians under the 9th sky of the King God Realm were no match for Lu Ming. They were killed one after another. In the end, Lu Ming transformed into the blue-armored ancient god and became thousands of meters tall. With each punch, dozens of barbarians were killed. Lu Ming was nearly invincible in this battlefield below the Divine Lord level. No one could stop him. Not long after, the number of barbarians that Lu Ming had killed alone had reached thousands. This alarmed the barbarian tribe Divine Lords. Go kill that brat. This brat deserves to die. A few angry roars were heard. Then a barbarian tribe Sir God dashed out and charged towards Lu Ming. However, a burly figure blocked his path. It was Wan Xin. Now the warm-up is over. Wan Xin smiled, revealing his white teeth. Then he punched out. With this punch, a Gate of Domination appeared and pressed down on his opponent. Break. The barbarian tribe Sir God roared and resisted with all his might. He wanted to break open the Gate of Domination. However, all his efforts were in vain. the gate of domination pressed down on him. The barbarian tribe Sir God screamed in pain and his body was torn apart. After killing the barbarian tribe Sir God, Wan Xin's body swayed and he charged towards the next barbarian tribe Sir God. He opened his mouth and a silver river appeared and swept out. The barbarian tribe Sir God was swept into the silver river. He didn't even have time to scream before he was killed. 3 secret techniques of origin. Monster, another monster. The barbarians were so shocked that they could not be any more shocked. Lu Ming was already terrifying enough. Now that Wan Xin had appeared, it was equally terrifying. Boom. The void trembled violently as a burly brute race member stepped through the void, causing the void to explode with loud rumbling sounds. Kill. This barbarian tribe Sir God was shockingly powerful. He was a second-level divine lord. He roared and cleaved down at Wan Xin with his battle axe. This axe was sufficient to slay an ordinary first-level divine lord. A second-level divine lord was enough to kill a first-level divine lord. However, Wan Xin did not back down. He held his stone spear and met the attack head-on. Clang. The stone spear and the battle axe clashed, causing a terrifying explosion. However, the outcome was unexpected. Wan Xin did not move an inch. As for the second-level divine lord barbarian tribe expert, he retreated frantically. How is this possible? The barbarian tribe Sir God roared, his face full of shock. In the divine lord realm, the difference between each level was shocking. A higher level could easily kill an existence of a lower level. To fight someone of a higher level was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. However, Wan Xin's strength was clearly above his. This is a second-level divine lord? That's all there is to it. Kill. Wan Xin said coldly. The aura on his body became even more violent. He took a step forward and charged towards his opponent. He opened his mouth and a silver river swept towards his opponent. At the same time, the gate of domination came crashing down on his opponent. The barbarian tribe expert was alarmed. He brandished his battle axe in an airtight manner. However, it was all in vain. When several origin secret techniques landed, the second-level divine lord barbarian tribe expert let out a blood-curdling scream as his flesh and blood splattered everywhere. When the light dissipated, only half of the barbarian tribe expert's body was left. The other half had been blasted to smithereens. A second-level divine lord powerhouse was virtually insta-killed too. Seeing this scene, the barbarian tribe Sir Gods were frightened out of their wits. Lu Ming and the other experts on his side seized the opportunity to attack consecutively. A few barbarians were careless and were seriously injured. After killing the second-level divine lord barbarian tribe expert, Wan Xin did not stop. He charged towards the other barbarians. With his strength, there was almost no one who could withstand a single blow. Every time he attacked, someone would be killed. There were originally more than a dozen barbarian tribe Sir Gods. In an instant, 5 or 6 of them were killed by Wan Xin. The remaining people were surrounded by Lu Ming's experts. Retreat. The barbarians were afraid. The warship's leader was a third-level divine lord expert. He had been fighting a third-level divine lord Dark Ape battle tribe expert previously. This time, among the experts that Lu Ming had brought, there was a third-level divine lord Dark Ape battle tribe expert. He was the strongest among the 11 Dark Ape battle tribe Sir Gods who had followed Lu Ming, other than Yuan Kong. The barbarian tribe Sir God roared and wanted to retreat. However, Wan Xin had his eyes on him and launched a fierce attack. The result was shocking. The barbarian tribe expert was no match for Wan Xin. He was completely suppressed by Wan Xin. After barely withstanding dozens of blows, the barbarian tribe expert's glabella was pierced by Wan Xin's stone spear and he was killed on the spot. The rest of the people were stunned. Lu Ming was also amazed. Wan Xin's strength was too abnormal. Only Lu Ming knew that Wan Xin had not used his full strength. In terms of origin secret techniques, Wan Xin had mastered at least a dozen of them and had not used them. Once they were used, it would be even more terrifying. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.